3. It's the room filler. Be sure to smash upon the like. Yeah. The name is Law Nation. We're going to talk about the draft picks between 2018 to 2022, plus QB ranking noise. Come on. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. Come on. It's the room filler. Be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's get it. Beyond. Come on. What's up? Good afternoon, everybody. The name is Law Nation. We're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys draft picks or what have you from 2018. We're going to dib and dab a little bit about validation. Validation is only good for parking. Write that down. Put it in your memory. Validation is only good for parking. A lot of people seek validation, right? And especially on the networks of four ladder networks as well as 3 ladder networks. And now there's a new feeling, a new groove of new media, whereas now you have ex-NFL players, right, that probably didn't have any journalistic background, but they have their thoughts and their opinions, and they are already validated with what they say, right? And then things can be bought nowadays. A lot of things can be bought nowadays. The networks, as far as social medias now, validation comes through blue check marks, not through hard works now, and you can buy it, right? And people with it, they either can mask through it and say, hey, I want to be validated and I can go get it, right? And there's nothing wrong with going out there and buying it, right? But it just feels different when you buy it versus earn it. And on top of that, they force you to do it in order to help you to do it. So there's always a thin line between that, right? There will be some that can look at the benefit of utilizing the services, right? Extended videos, right? You get the check mark. You get the extended time to edit videos. You get the check mark, right? And then there's a thing that they call clout. Well, that was a song way back in the days talking about doing anything for clout, right? Y'all let me know who was singing that one or rapping that one. And now they buy into those things, right? Instagram, I can go get a blue check mark. Facebook, I can go get a blue check mark. Although the benefits of the blue check mark will validate me, but the validation really comes from the people, not from the situation of you purchasing things. Right now, you can buy 50,000 subscribers if you want to, right? You can find resources to get you what you want in this modern day time. But one thing that I know for sure, shout out to you, Jay Carter, he says Offset, clout, right? You know, and Cardi B, appreciate them too, right? But here's the thing. Tupac said it really, really good. One thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but game. We stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. A lot of people searching for fortune and fame, and the word still remains the same. Fame. A lot of people looking for that, right? So they will pull upon the low-hanging fruit and they will say it. They will put it out there regardless of what it is, and thousands of people will follow because they searching for fortune and fame. One thing we all adore, so somebody can be like, man, let me go and play that song right now. And that's just what it is. So regardless of the situation and scenario, there is the truth. And that's where a lot of people want to come for the nation for, is they want to hear the truth. And today, baby, I'm going to try to give you guys the most possible way to find out how I can spread upon the truth. So here's the thing. Around this season, everybody's right. The draft season, everybody is right until about, let's say week 6, week 7. Then they realize, oh, that guy that I was talking about banging on the table for, he didn't even show up, not even for the cup of coffee, right? A lot of people, one way or another, don't understand that there are codes to life, there are rules and regulations to life, and when the big dog come in, you're going to have to fold up. You're going to have to... Lord, do you have any truth to it? Yeah. A couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, Cash App came out. We've been out for more than 2 years, but Cash App been around for a long time. But it helped the people that didn't have identification, right, to transfer money without physical money, right? It allowed people that was not over 18 to open up an account so you can transfer money. It was exchanges of my money from me to you without me even seeing you. It was a situation whereas you could receive donations and no one can count for it, right? No IRS attached to it. No, hey, you gave me this amount of money for services that you really can't touch it. Brilliant idea. And then regulations came in. Regulators, y'all know what I'm talking about. Regulations came in saying that, hey, you received this $15,000 donation or $15,000 fund. I'm Uncle Sam. I need to figure out a way I can get 33 1/3% of that, So they start to renegotiate on how Cash App roll with their operation and procedures, right? And then all of a sudden, allegedly, they had to respond to the IRS on how much money is being circulated, right? And on top of that, Cash App opened up a tunnel of fuel line for Bitcoins. Ooh. If you jumped in early, you could be sitting on some money right about now. But that's the story of another day. Just the other day, the founder of Cash App, he's no longer on this dimension. And then for all that can be said about the truth, a lot of people don't want to hear it, but all of a sudden, yes, indeed, we're hearing that now there's another tool out there, conveniently, called FedNow. If you need cash, you can get cash right now. Yes, indeed. And all of a sudden, that will be the new way that you can exchange money without being regulated, without being 18 years or older or younger. You can open up an account if you're 6, if you want to, and you can do the same thing that Cash App can do now, but is under the beautiful name of FedNow, So, but a lot of people will miss the meat worrying about the potatoes, and they would never catch on to the way the world operates. You see, it may take 50 to 60 years for the truth to really come out. Or you could just say, well, you know what? Damn, Law Nation was already spitting that years ago. But it is what it is. Let me get back to football before they come over here. and shack me with the butter knife. You know what I'm saying? And I had to hurry up and get on up out of here. Y'all know how it goes, right? Fact checkers, I just want to say this. Allegedly, all of this is allegedly. This is nothing that's happening right now, you know. Oh man, I'm too late with it. You can't have nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Fatality.
Yeah, man, that dude Law Nation was talking good, but then somebody shanked him with the butter knife, man. God dog, man. They did him just like the founder of Cash App. Allegedly, you know. God
Shame.
dog, man.
Shame. Shame.
Some of y'all can see it. Some of y'all will still be blind to the fact, but that's just how the truth is. So speaking of the truth, let's open up this right here. The Dallas Cowboys, we are a really good and great team as it relates to draft picks, right? Y'all saw how I did that. I slid right on into this part right here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, all what I said was allegedly, man. Mama, I love you. You know what I'm saying? But neither here nor there. We got the top draft class between 2018 and now. 18 was what, 5 years ago, if you do the quick math. And the Dallas Cowboys, if you look at that list, if you can squint your eyes to see that list there, you will see at the bottom of it, you will see, let me see if I got it all here. Hold on. Bear with me. Got my hooked on funny eyes. All right, so you see Bo Scarborough. Can y'all see it on your end? Yes, you see Bo Scarborough. You see Mike Weber or Weber. Shout out to the Mikes family. Ben DiNucci. Matt Farniok, you see him. All right, so in 2018, these were our guys. Leighton Vander Esch, Connor Williams, Michael Gallup, D.A., Dorrance Armstrong, Dalton Schultz, Mike White, Chris Covington, shout out to him, Seti, and then we had Bo Scarborough in the first row in 2018. I'm going to tell y'all right now that when you look at this list and you go over this list, you would say to yourself, all right, Gallup was pretty good for us, right? We still waiting for him to really have that breakout year. He showed us promise in 2019, right? D.A., he's on his second contract with us now, right? He gave us some good stuff here and there. Dalton Schultz, hey, man, he's Eastside Harold, #1 tight end now. I know Eastside Harold somewhere in here. I know he's lurking. And let me know if Eastside Harold is here. Cedric Wilson, he got his second contract with the Dolphins. They thinking about shopping him off. So, and then not to leave out Leighton Vander Esch. Leighton Vander Esch, was he a good pickup for us or a horrible one? Y'all let me know in the chat. I think that Leighton Vander Esch was a real good pickup for us, especially when you go back to the year 2018, his rookie season, before the neck injury. Here we go right here. Branday says, R.I.P. to the Cash App founder. Yes, indeed, R.I.P. to him. May he rest in power. All right. And all of the other transactions that is going to have to happen now because of that. And legally, I can't say all, but it's going to be crazy. Wait, do you see and Michael Jackson, Joe Jackson on the list? Where do you see Jack? Okay, let me see. I think they was in 2019. And let's go over this right here. Because Joe Jackson, boy, we liked him. And, boy, we had a hell of a year out of that. So far, when I look back at this list, I would give Connor Williams a meh type of deal, right? He was a guy that was a tackle, transitioned into guard, and that was the situation for us to all look back on and say, come on, man. And then by the time he got right, it was time for him to go. So out of 2018, I'm looking at starters. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 starters out of 2018. In a draft, what you're looking for out of a draft is 1 or 2 starters. Most teams, if they can get 1 starter, it would have been a successful draft. The Cowboys literally got 5 starters out of 2018. One can argue 6 if you put Cedric Wilson in last season here you can say he was a quasi starter, right? That's remarkable. Great drafting. I'm going to tell y'all right now that the Dallas Cowboys heading into the 2023 draft, we don't need 5 starters. If we need 5 starters, let me know in the chat. But we don't need 5 starters. And what happened most of the time is we lean on these rookies to help elevate the team. And when you do the aspect of leaning on rookies, there will be growing pains with said rookies, believe it or not. So you have to make sure that you eat a well-balanced meal, meaning that you got to sprinkle in some free agent moves. You also got to sprinkle in some of your draft concepts. And on top of that, your development team got to know how to marry the two. If not, then you will be top heavy. When it's time, or bottom heavy, or when it's time for your team to get it out of the mud, a new broom, it'll be hard for that new broom to sweep their corners, right? It'll be hard for that new broom to figure things out, and you'll be this close and you will lose it all because they can't pull from nothing. Veteran guys know how to pull from experiences, right? So that's been the Achilles heel for this team. But if I were to tell you guys that this particular year that the Cowboys pretty much got everything lined in order so that we will not have to lean upon rookies. We don't have to depend upon rookies all the time. All right, so with that being said, let me go and pull this up. Appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. 2018. Let's pull up to 2019 right quick. Let's look at 2019. 2019, they had Tristan Hill, Connor McGovern, Tony Pollard, Michael Jackson. He's doing a phenomenal job for the Sea Chickens, right? Joe Jackson. And he went off to the Cleveland. And Dono, Mike who? Weber. Jalen Jelks. You can't see Jalen Jelks. He's at the bottom of that list. I think he's out of the league. But when you look at Tristan Hill, was he ever a starter? No, I don't think he was. He was always a rotational piece. So that was a wasteful movement right there. Connor McGovern, that's a starter. Tony Pollard, that's a starter. Michael Jackson is a starter somewhere else. Donovan Wilson, my friend, that's 4 starters. The Cowboys draft well. 2019. Out of 2019, the best player on this list is Tony Pollard. And the problem is, it is the year 2023. When you draft someone and you know who that person is, you should already have your evaluations before it's time for you to pay them. You should already know what your player can and can't do. It shouldn't be, let's put him on a franchise tag. The Cowboys should already know who Tony Pollard is, what he can and can't do. He should be under contract. Now, granted, he got this $10.9 million or $10.1 million franchise tag, and it's a 1-year rental. So when I pull up this right here, this will point to directions that the team itself got reservations on Tony Pollard. That's the card. That's the card that the Cowboys are rolling with. They have reservations on Tony Pollard. They do. He's not under a long-term contract or even a short-term. He's a year-to-year deal, meaning that they thinking about, okay, we don't know what the leg look like. We don't, want to give you a 3-year deal. Your team is asking for too much money. Well, what we can do is we have Rojo here, We go pick up him. We will further evaluate Malik Davis, and we going into this draft. So if a certain running back falls to the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys will draft Bijan Robinson. They have reservations. They're not all in. If the 26th pick come here, if they have the top running backs that they figure that could be the guy for them for 3 to 4 years and get them on a cheap contract, have at least 5 years of total control, whether it be a Robinson, whether it be a Gibbs, they're going to draft them. According to what I can see here. Reason why I'm saying this, and I'm pulling Trev out. Yeah, I'm pulling for TP. I'm pulling for TP as well. But when you put somebody on the franchise tag, you're betting against them. You're saying, okay, all right, you don't like this contract that we presenting? Okay, all right, well, we at least will not allow you to test the open waters, but we will hold rights to you for 1 year for $10 million. And ain't that a lot of good money for you, right? You got a newborn? Come on, that's nothing. That's enough money for you. Now, do what you did last season again. At minimum, he got to present what he did last season again. What did he do last season? He hit right at, let me pull up Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. Do it again, and we'll pay you. We want the minimum of 1,000 yards, 9 tubs, and we want to see you can average at 5.2. We need to see that. If he present anything north of that, do you think whatever he's asking for will be lower? No. If he do anything north of that, it's going to be even higher. It's going to be higher, y'all. If he get 1,200 yards, 10 tubs, and 5.3, he gonna want more than whatever he's asking for now. Even at an older age, even at more carries. Because he's going to be looking at, hey, this is what I presented. Now, on the flip side, if he do anything less of that, right? Let's say, for example, he go to this version of Tony Pollard. Let's say he give you only 2 touchdowns with 719 yards. Do you think that his asking price will be lower than what he's asking for now or higher? I want to know from y'all. Do you think he's going to ask for lower? I'm going to see what y'all going to say. Give me a yes or no. Do you think even if he present what he did in 2020 or 2021, if he give you 719 yards, 2 touchdowns, do you think he's going to ask for lower than what his asking price is now? Nope. Big Scorpio says lower because of the market. No, but his asking price would still be his asking price. Now, the reality of it is in order for you to say, hey, all right, so he's going to get lower, then that's what he said, well, allow me to test the open market then. Let me see what my true price will be. But by the franchise tag, it's placed upon that, he would never know his true value because that's not predicated upon his individual skill set. That's predicated upon those who put the first 5 highest running back offers out there. So what I'm saying is, as price point analysis, when you get into the fact that you sign a person under the franchise tag, yes, it's good. Yes, it's good for 1 year. That one-off year is really good. But all of the pressure is back on the player. Hence, the same thing that happened to Dalton Schultz. Schultz was looking for Travis Kelce type of money just last season, right? He was looking for somewhere north of David Njoku money, right? Now, he played on the franchise tag. He didn't generate the same amount of numbers that he presented the year before. So his price had to come down organically. But if I'm his agent, I'm sitting here like, wait a minute. You didn't contextualize he got hurt. You didn't contextualize the quarterback missed 5 games. Come on, man. My guy is still my guy. So that's the danger of doing franchise tags. Teams from afar can see that. And they say, all right, come on. So here's the problem when you put someone on a franchise tag. It's like dating a lady, right? Being out with her and she's wanting the ring and you say, well, you know, especially when you're a certain age, it's like giving them a promissory ring. That woman going to look at you and be like, God, no, we've been dating for, look, let me pull up this list. We've been dating since 2019. And all you can present to me is a promissory ring? You're not serious? Some women will slap you, right? But it is what it is at this point. Yes, indeed. All right, so let's pull up the 2020 list. I appreciate everybody for jumping in. Thank you, guys. Be sure to smash that like button, share this content. All right, so the 2020 list is there. And on the 2020 list, y'all know how we feel about 2020. That is, my friend, a cuss word in most people's minds, right? The 2020 list, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Trayvon Diggs, you got Gallimore, Reggie Robinson, Biotish, Bradley Anae, DiNucci. I see 3 starters from the 2020 list. 3 starters. 3 starters. 3 starters. CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, and Tyler Biotish. Yes, indeed. DiNucci. All right, so Gallimore, he was in the 3rd round. Here's off. Well, he was in the 3rd round. Here's my thought with Gallimore. When you look at his OU tape, you look at a 3-tech, right? A guy, you know, he can give you 2 gap. He's better at 1. He's a wide body guy. Natural birth, get off was there. Burst and acceleration to the meat point was there. He was able to have a good motor, what have you. And we had 1 tech needs here in Dallas. So we tried to play the game of we're going to put more and more weight on you, more and more size, and we want you to be playing the 1 tech. We realized that, the photograph off season, he looks big, strong. But one of the games that I want you guys to go back and look at, man, and I know the Eagles do most of the teams like that they play with that offensive line. But, man, when you look at that first game, when we played against the Eagles last season, you saw Neville Gallimore getting pushed and thrown out of the club left and right. Them boys beat the hell out of him. It was an assault on a player. An assault on a player. But I think that Gallimore is a better 3-tech than he is at 1. And when he gained some of that mass so quickly during the offseason, we saw the numbers decline. We saw some of the temperaments that he brought to the table dissipate. Sad move. So that's the decline of Neville Gallimore. And we got him over for 1 more year, and the staff came out and said they see promise in him. I hope that they can see something that we don't, right? But we got 3 starters out of this, and the 3 guys all been to the Pro Bowl at least in one time of their stay here. CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, and Tyler Biotish. So y'all see a pattern going on here, right? Let's switch over to the 2021 season, baby. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. He got thrown out of the club. Yup. He got thrown out of the club real bad, man. And they went on that drive. And I said, come on, man. Yep. I got Gallimore. But let's go to the year of 2021. Let's go to the year 2021. All right. And booyah. 2021 is here. We're going to look at this. You got Parsons. Dog, right? Let me just give Parsons his own button over here, man, because Parsons, shoot. Kelvin Joseph. Oh, my gosh, man. Let me hit it again, Kelvin Joseph, man. Come on, man. What's going on with Kelvin Joseph, man? Kelvin Joseph. That's how the Cowboy fans sound after they done listened to your music, man. I didn't see not one person bumping your stuff around Dallas, man. They said, man, the lyrics, man, they still looking for the bars, man. What's going on, Kelvin Joseph, man? Come on, man. You know, and we ain't trying to point fingers at you because you know when you point fingers, you got three pointed back at you, you know. So, but what I'm trying to say is, Kelvin Joseph, if you can't show us nothing this year, man, at least come to us and say, hey, man, look, I need for somebody to have a press conference, an interview with Kelvin Joseph and say, hey, what's on your mind? You know what I'm saying? What's your plans? What's your 5-year plan? You know, I need for one of the beat writers to have a one-on-one. I would donate $50 to their charity or to their Cash App, you know, to the first beat writer, Cowboys reporter. You can get $50 from me, from the nation, if you have a true sit-down interview with Kelvin Joseph and talk football and feature thoughts with him, because it's been too long for us to sit back and say, man, that second-round draft pick, he just need opportunity. He need to be out there on the field. When we seen just last season a guy that was drafted in the later rounds named Bland. He came with a plan. There was no hiccups. There was no trap music, no mixtapes. He just came out there and did his job. Come on, man. So we need to see it. We need to see you, Kelvin Joseph. But let's go back to this thing right here that we call this 2021 list. So Osa Odighi Ozua, right? He was in the third round showing us great promises. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Shakura. Y'all ain't right, man. Yes, indeed, man. I need somebody to ask him some real good, hard questions, man. You know, I need for a beat reporter to be, or one of those people that got close access to say, hey, man, what's your thoughts now, Kelvin Joseph? Don't call him boss. No. Don't call him boss. Man, fat. Call him Kelvin Joseph, his government name. Government. All right. All right, so we got Nashawn Wright. We got Jabril Cox, Josh Ball, Simi, Quentin Bowe, Izzy, and Matt Farniok on this list. Now, so far, it's still fresh because they said it take 3 years to evaluate a player, but bump all of that. We can go ahead and say that Parsons, the levels that he's playing, shoot, phenomenal. If you could erase everybody's name off of that list, as long as you got Parsons, that solidified the 2021 draft season, right? But also, he stepped up, had 4 sacks last season. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, especially coming from the inside. Pause. And then he had 1 forced fumble. So, yeah, we like that. Shout out to my guy, Osa Odighi Ozua. Jabril Cox, we don't know who he is. All I knew was when he wore 48, I was saying, yes, first 48. And then he switched his number to 14, and he disappeared. So we need to see more. We need to see more of Jabril Cox. He's on the same pathway or wavelength, minus the off-field situation, than Kelvin Joseph. Come on, man. Yes, indeed. So Joshua Ball, man. Let me talk about Josh right quick. Josh, for the sake of Terrence Steele and how he got everything flipped over, right, when he was thrown into the fire, I'm gonna have my reservations on you. I'm not finna murk you. No, I'm not finna murk you. I'm not finna do that. But we need to see something from you this year. We need to see something from you this year in training camp. I need to be able to pull up a clip to hype you. At least I can't even hype you, dog. Now, you know that's bad when Law can't hype you and can't put no video on a reel and a loop and say, yeah, man, I see a little power here. I seen how he picked this guy up, put him in his back pocket, laid all over him. You know, I need to be able to hype you at least this season. This off season, I need to see some calisthenics, some plyometrics, man. You at least running some bleachers or something, man. I need to see something, dog. I need to see something, man. Yes, indeed. Nah, Law, remember Jabril Cox baptized Danny Jones. Yeah, he did him, but that's the only little highlight my guy Jabril Cox did, and he played pretty good in the preseason. I'm just saying that Jabril Cox, he's on the same wavelength, minus the off-field situation with Kelvin Joseph, right? Kelvin Joseph at least gave us something in the playoff game, right? So that's why it's kind of equal, but I feel with what you're saying. It's like Josh Ball isn't trying. Oh, yeah, but I need to see a little bit more from Joshua Ball. You know, I'm going to call it by his name from now on is going to be Joshua Ball, right? And then if he start playing good, I'm going to call him Josh Ball. And then he start really playing good, we'll call him JB. But right now, he's Joshua Ball. We need to see more from you, dog. We do. We need to see more from you. Appreciate y'all so much for jumping in. Simi Fihoko. Simi. Should I say to y'all that even Simi, we need to see more from you, Simi. Training camp hero, I get all of that. You showed us some promises in training camp, catching everything that was thrown to you out there. I don't know if it's the ponytail or was it Kellen Moore's offense, man. But we need to see more. I do know that Coach spoke out and said that he would like to move you as a hybrid tight end. Maybe he can work the middle of the field. He got the height, he got the size or what have you. Speed, 4.3 is there. He got some of those intangible things that you would like to see, some bursts and accelerations. Yes, indeed. So hopefully, man, I still have hopes and wonders for you, man. So Simi Fihoko, this could be the year, especially by the Cowboys talking about drafting and bringing in every wide receiver. If I'm a wide receiver on this team and I'm hearing how fans were bubbly and giddy for news about DeAndre Hopkins, news about Brandon Cooks now that he's here, news about every other wide receiver not named them, then that wide receiver should have in his mind and his mental processing to say, hey, I need a dog type of wide receiver. Don't y'all know that? On the bottom end. I need to have Simi or who else? Dontario Drummond, shout out to him, Mississippi guy. Anybody that's on this team need to be looking at that and saying that they are better. They are better than CeeDee Lamb. I need to have every wide receiver to have that in his mind, even if he's not. I need for them to run every rep like they the best thing since sliced bread. That's the mindset that these young guys got to have. The ball is in the air. When it's time for them to make the field, they need to be out there saying that, hey, I'm the best wide receiver. They need to put it in their mind and their mental. Yep, Josh Ball. Shout out to my guy Chris 214. Josh Ball sent Isaac Alacon to the defense. Left out like, you ain't lying. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Josh was like, Rossi said, no, bye, semi-annual player. Y'all got jokes, boy. Shout out to you, Dale Ryan. Appreciate you. All right, so let's go back to this list right here. We're moving along pretty fast, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. All right, Quentin Bowe, he's in the same room as Kelvin Joseph, Simi Fihoko, Jabril Cox. We need to see him step up and be that guy and be that difference maker out there. He should be directly behind Big Jonathan Hankins. What I need to see out of Big Bo is exactly what I just said about Simi. He should feel as if though, oh, that's how y'all feel? Y'all bringing up Payne. Y'all bringing up all of these guys, Jeffrey Simmons. Oh, y'all talking about you going to miss Carlos Watkins? You talking about Jonathan Hankins? What about me? You know, I'm going to show y'all who's really the big body. Can't stop me for the 9-8. Got to sell 1 million copies, right? Big Bo need to be that guy for the 2023 season. Big Bo need to play so well during his OTAs and training camp that he can make Jonathan Hankins an afterthought. He need to be the first one there, the last one to leave. He need to be showing that the big boy, Jonathan Hankins, 30. How old is Big Bo? He's 23, 24? He need to be showing that guy that youth. I got everything, youth and developing strength, that they going to look at my tape and you going to be the second. You're going to be the second person. I'm going to be the first. I'm on first rotations over here. You can do the cleanup duties. They put you late in the third and fourth quarter. First quarter and second quarter belongs to me. That's the mindset that he might have to have. But Jonathan Hankins got that old man strength. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Hankins going to say, hey, man, you better carry them pads, man. But I ain't not a rookie. Yeah, man. You're a rookie to me. Now carry them pads. And give me some extra water. I want 4 cubes of ice. If I open it up and if I see 3 or if I see 5, that's me going to be all on you. Yes, indeed. Now they don't haze no more like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, let me open it up. Yeah. Whew. 4 cubes of ice. Here you go. Here you go, Jonathan Hankins. Yes, indeed. And I don't want water. I want harmless harvest coconut water. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep my alkalis together, you know. Yes, indeed. All right. Who else on this list? All right. Izzy and Matt Forniak. Matt Forniak got a chance this season because there's a vacant spot at left guard. Matt Forniak can step up. But let me just switch over to Izzy. Shout out to West Coast Cowboys, man, and the crew, landlord. They got a chance to talk to Izzy, pick his brain on a few things. And I got high hopes for Izzy, man. I do. I look at Izzy as a dog, right? Dustin Banks as a dog. Yep. That's what he said. Izzy is a dog. All right, so I'm not going to be that harsh on Izzy like I did for the rest of the guys. Law, man, you tripping, man, you know. Law. How come Kelvin Joseph don't get a chance? Why you was hard on Big Bo, man? You got favorites. And why you passed up over on Chauncey Golston too, man? Law, talk to me, baby. I didn't leave out Chauncey Golston nor Nashawn Wright, but I think that those guys, it is already a situation and scenario that the Cowboys done packed their bags up on them and moved on, right? So there's no need to waste any more oxygen on that. But the Izzy situation is very unique because Izzy himself, he want to be a defensive back on the outside, not the inside. Pause. He want to be a cornerback, not the safety. But we seen flashes of him being at that safety spot. Remarkable. He's been doing his thing as when we seen the preseason games, if we seen when he was number was called into a regular season game, he was able to stand tall and do his deal there. So now the Cowboys organization may be looking at even Malik Hooker like, hey, Malik, this offseason, dog, don't get hurt. Try to stay upright, man, because this dude right here, 24, he going to take it all the way over, man. Yes, indeed. Tony Snow says at 23, you should have a good motor. So, yeah, he's 23. Yeah, he should have a good time to close the gap up for this season. Jay Mayer says our last true defensive tackle was Leroy Glover. True. I can't fight you on that. Appreciate you for that. Yeah. But Jason Hatcher had, I think, the last double-digit sacks from the inside, and he had 12 of them, right? All right, so let's move right along for sake of time, what have you. All right, so the last year's draft, you had Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, Matt Latsko, Deron Bland, Damone, John Ridgeway, and Devin Harper, who's the 6th-round draft pick. All right, so what I can tell you, let me see how many starters we got. 1, 2, 3 and 2 possibles. This is about to be 5 starters. Who the 5 starters? Tyler Smith is a starter. Jake Ferguson is a starter. Bland is a starter. Damone Clark, that's 4, right? He got to be a starter this season, right? The possible would be Sam Williams. He's a possible starter. We want him to be the starter, Cowboys. Make it happen, Cowboys. Knocking on some wood. And Jalen Tolbert, that's 6. That's 6 starters that could possibly happen, right? It predicated what these two do. What these two do, y'all wish I could show y'all. I count like kids, man. I count using my hands. There's 6 of them, man. And literally, what Sam Williams do this offseason and Jalen Tolbert do this offseason could literally be starters. That's a crazy draft, 2022. And the great Bill Parcells said take 3 years to evaluate, but dog it, we can forecast some things and see down the line. Literally. It's look, people praying for like Jalen Tolbert. And where's that vacancy at? Jalen Tolbert, in order for him to be a starter, don't you know what he got to do? He's going to have to really shine this offseason. And an injury going to have to occur. And the Cowboys going to have to not draft a player early, right? So that means that if the Cowboys draft a wide receiver in the 1st round or the 2nd round, it's going to be real slim for Jalen Tolbert, right? Who was a 3rd-round wide receiver, just from the math of it, right? And what Jalen Tolbert is going to have to do, show up in preseason game, OTAs, and training camp, and be an Oxnard hero. Not like Reggie Davis. Who remember Reggie Davis? Reggie Davis, OTA killer out there, if I can say that, Me and Shago, we were live, we were watching Reggie. Boy, Reggie Davis, I said, woo! That number 11 right there, man, he's fast, catching everything that was thrown his way. And then when that first preseason game came around, I think right before the first preseason game, the blue and white game, when they can start hitting. Reggie Davis, man, what's going on? You need some milk?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on, Reggie, man. Reggie Davis, dog, boy. You had to be out there and practice to see it. He was catching everything. Yeah. And that's how OTAs, training camp, preseason, all that. Well, right before you get to preseason, before you can hit, everybody look good. Matter of fact, they can put a helmet on me, and I could be one of the running backs or one of the slot wide receivers. They be like, "Yeah, man, that Law Nation look good out there." But when it's time to hit, when you can hit them, you know.
He needs some milk.
You know. Boy, Reggie, he caught that ball across the middle. Me and Shango, shout out to my dog, Shango, the GOAT, the legend out there, man. He like, "Raw Reggie, kapow!" Yeah, Reggie. Poor Reggie, man. Reggie was this big, though, man. Reggie, man, he got hit. He was like, legends have it that Reggie never caught another pass since that hit, you know. So I'm telling y'all, man, any running back that we draft or any running back that we get during this offseason, they going to look good. But wait till them pads come on. Mm-hmm. So that was Reggie Davis. So Jalen Tolbert got to get beyond that, right? Because he's going to look good with the helmet on, no homo, with the 18 jersey, with the half leg all the way up sleeve or whatever he do. You know, his uniform, he's going to be really fit and nice. You know, you're going to be like, "Hey, man, that 18, right? That look good." You know, but we want to know that he got that South Alabama stuff up out of him. These boys coming to hit, his concentration, his focus, his mindset, the dog mentality got to be there, you know. Yes, indeed. Yeah, remember Bobby Carpenter? Yeah, he was another guy. Chiseled out, looked good in the uniform, but then all of a sudden on the field, you saw what happened. Remember Ryan Switzer in shorts? Yes, indeed. T-shirt law. Yeah. I mean, Ryan Switzer wasn't a bad guy. I mean, he was another guy that liked to rap, liked to joke around or what have you. He was a guy that if we never had that Rams game where he fumbled that kickoff return, a punt return, and pretty much people were looking at it like, "Hey, man, he's the reason why we lost," and then they start canning the dude. But they fail to realize that, like, on the latter part of the year, when we played against Washington, Ryan Switzer, he ran it all the way back for the tub. We're like, "Yeah, go Ryan." But then they traded him for a defensive interior guy that we never got a chance to see on the field. I think that Ryan Switzer, they saw where he was going, and he spoke out too much about the Dez Bryant situation. They got him up out of there. You know, they were looking to trade him. You know, they didn't want another guy that can be all outspoken and things like that. And Ryan Switzer, to me, he just needed to stay with this team. But when he started going to the Steelers and all those other locations, it just wasn't good for him, you know. But it is what it is, man. But I feel y'all. But Reggie, Reggie was a complete opposite, man. He didn't give us nothing. Law, what are your thoughts on Clark this year? What's a full off-season training camp, et cetera? With the full off-season training camp, I think he can push some things around. I think that we can get back to base defense a little bit more with Damone Clark. The hiccups that we had with Anthony Barr, we should no longer see. Anthony Barr, Father Time got a hold of him. He was a great pickup for us for 1 or 2 games. But I think that now that since we have Damone Clark, and it'd be Damone Clark and LVE juxtaposed to Anthony Barr and LVE, that means the team will be faster, right? The team should be more readiness to play. And I think that Damone Clark himself coming in after midseason, last season, to present us any form of tape, and now that he got a chance to do OTAs, training camp, preseason, he should be a phenomenal player. I know Eastside Harold going to say stop selling dreams. Somebody going to say stop the cap. But Damone Clark could be our Roquan Smith. Let me say it again. Damone Clark could be our Roquan Smith. So if he just Just continue to do his rehab and do his thing. Well, he's not rehabbing anymore, but continue to do his thing. He will be the absolute steal of the 2022 draft, especially down there in the 5th round. Him and Bland, believe it or not. I think Bland is going to be even better than what he was last season. So we got another super chat from Glenn. Izzy is that wild card that QBs can't figure out, can tackle like a linebacker, cover slot wide receivers like a corner, and check the tight ends too. He is definitely a hit. Yup. Yeah. He just, like, going back to 2021, Izzy is the guy that like the coaching staff know that he didn't want to play that spot, but he played it anyhow, and he played it at a good level the time that he played it. But if he was probably bought in and saying, hey, I want to only play that spot, they probably gave him more tick, believe it or not. You think DQ will utilize Marquise Bell more? Yeah, Marquise Bell, depending on who we draft in the draft, Marquise Bell will get enough time out there. Okay? Yeah, I do like Marquise Bell. All right, so another guy, another wild card on this list. I got a chance to talk to him for a long time. Devin Harper. Devin Harper is the other linebacker that's going to step up and give us something. Right? All right, so those are the list of the 2022 draft picks, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Izzy surprised me. Did not see him coming at all. This is from Trev. Appreciate y'all, man, so much. Sound like Byron Jones, right? Yeah, Chris Smith, yo. Yeah. Byron Jones, the inverse part of it, right? Byron Jones, we all knew, like, come on, man, let him be a DB, a cornerback. And then they were like, nah, let's put him at safety. And he was a tight end eraser. Byron Jones was a tight end eraser. Now, the problem with he gave up that big play in the playoffs in 2016. They played him off coverage. Byron Jones, his game was press, cover, redirect. And they played him off of, what was that tight end name? It's at the tip of my tongue. I think it's Cooks or something like that. What was his name? What was his name, y'all? Was it Cooks? The tight end name that caught the pass that, you know, they would say Aaron Rodgers, man, the greatest thrower in the world or what have you, you know. Yeah, it was Cooks. What was Jaron Cook? What was his first name? You missed the super chat from earlier. All right. I'm going to look it up. I appreciate you, Big Scorpion Jay. Let me break this down. I'm going to try to find your super chat. I want you guys to go back and look at the first series out of that drive. Jones played press on him. He was inside the slot, redirect him, knock him off of his marker. Aaron looked at him. Aaron like, no, I'm going to go to my other read. Incomplete pass. Second series, redirect, got him off his mark. Aaron targeted him. Ball was off a mile. Byron Jones did a great job. But then I think it was third down or what have you. The Cowboys went to that doggone stick defense. He lined 7 yards off of Cooks. Cooks was able to like say, whoo, I get a free release. I'm going to do a deep out, shoot, deep over. Shoot. By the time Jones was able to catch up with him, he was already breaking. He was already breaking on the edge of his route. All he had to do was continue to play press. If he would have knocked him off a little bit, he would have took that read away from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers would have never been able to make that throw. And plus, old boy was being held from the inside. I want y'all to go back and look at that. Man, I want y'all to go back and look at that. I'm going to find my guy super chat. Big says, are they starters or they just we like our guys candidates? Yeah. Well, we'll find out, man. Tyler Smith, you talking about Tyler Smith, Sam Williams, Bland, and Clark. Those are just starters. I don't think that you can find a guy in the draft that can just take their spot like that right now, you know. Maybe we could argue about Trent Simpson or Drew Sanders, but he plays a little different than Damone Clark. But those are guys that they are true starters. This ain't no, hey, I'm just loving it. Yes, Clark said it was 3rd and long, man. Yeah. Play your brand of defense. Look, and that's another thing that even Quinn kind of adopted a little bit. On 3rd and long, continue to play your same defense. Trust your DBs, man. Trust your DBs. Continue to play your style of defense. Don't play off and give them the whirl. All right. So let's go. Kelvin Hicks says he would take a quarterback in the 3rd. Yeah. We talked about quarterbacks in this draft. Tanner, what's that guy name? Where my guy at, man? Al, where you at, man? Or somebody who keep telling me to draft Tanner. Scorpio, where you at, man? Tanner, is it McKee? Take him in the 4th round, Let's say he's a starter in Law Izzy started for a hooker in that Lions game, played well. Yeah, Coach Marv, yeah. Scorpio, you get Tanner McKee in the 4th, right? We ran the mock drafts before. 3rd would be kind of like too soon. Coach Marv, yeah, you're right. All right. Here we go right here. Let's talk about, and I should have been pulled this up, but these were some of the moves that we did so far. And let's talk about this. Clay Harbin. He says these are the top 5 NFC quarterbacks entering into the 2023 season. He got Jalen Hurts, number 1. I can understand. I can really say, okay, the man went to the Super Bowl. Don't want to knock the man off of the ladder there. Let him see if he can climb down and start it again, And that could be the situation for him. Justin Fields, number 2. Now I'm thinking like, hey, whoa. What inspired Justin Fields to be number 2? And then I look at this list. Danny Jones, number 3. All right, I see you. I feel you. Okay. He made it all the way to the playoffs, etc. All right, and then you got Brock Purdy, number 4. And then you have Matthew Stafford, number 5. And then I think he said he got Goff or something like that on number 6. Now, granted, I get all of that. I get what most people say about Dak Prescott, all of the multiple interceptions. I get all of that. I absolutely understand that people naturally hate Rain Dakota Prescott. I get all of that. And the list is trash. It's making all type of airwaves, all in my inbox on Instagram, Facebook circles. Hey, man, it's on even my TikTok. People tagging me on TikTok. That's the thing, man. When you're Law Nation, you get a lot of people to say, hey, man, what about this guy? Hey, Law, look at this list. Yeah, Trev says, who in the hell is Clay Harbor? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's not Pearl either, But I can tell y'all right now that when you start to talk about all of these things, right, people say list on how they feel passionately about a certain player without looking at the actual information. And context do matter, So what I would tell y'all right now, that this quarterback, I ain't going to even lie, Dak Prescott, where he is at on this list, not even within the top 5 or the top 8 within the NFC. I love it. I absolutely love it, because when you're at the bottom, there's nowhere else but where to go up to the top. Now, here's what I'm hearing from people. They say they would say this right here about the quarterback. Well, Brock Purdy beat Dak Prescott. Brock Purdy is better than Dak Prescott. Okay, cool. If you want to put that and say that, then you got to do it for all. Let's say this then. Within the confines of our own team, there's a guy by the name of Cooper Rush. And if you want to use that as the argument, well, let me go back to this list. Let me find this list again. And let me know if I'm wrong. Didn't Cooper Rush beat Matthew Stafford? Let me see in the chat, yes or no. If y'all want to go with that type of argument, did Cooper Rush beat Matthew Stafford? Let me see yes or no in the chat. Let me see yes or no in the chat. You know, since y'all want to say that the quarterback win is a quarterback win. So did he beat Matthew Stafford? Yes. Okay. So Cooper Rush should be 5th on this list, right? Didn't Cooper Rush beat Danny Jones? Yes or no? I need to know it. I need to see it on this list. He didn't beat Brock Purdy, but he did beat Danny Jones. So if Danny Jones is ahead of Brock Purdy, then if y'all want to use this little argument, then we're going to go run with it. So by him being able to beat Danny Jones, and he already beat Matthew Stafford and as well as Danny Jones, then that automatically put him above Brock Purdy. So did he beat Danny Jones? Yes? Yes? So according to that straw man's argument, according to that information, anecdotal, by the way, it's not empirical, this is anecdotal, you know what I'm saying, information that this dude Clay Harbor put up there, then Cooper Rush should be the 3rd best quarterback in the NFC based off of the logics that most people try to present to us. So Cooper Rush should be the 3rd. Matter of fact, Cooper Rush should be the 2nd. Because if Dak Prescott beat out that dude, the number 2, Justin Fields, then he should be the 2nd quarterback. And he beat Joe Burrows too. So Cooper Rush should be the 2nd quarterback in the NFC East, based upon the anecdotal information that guy done presented to us on the reason why Dak Prescott was so far down that list. Yes. And Sean Green, yeah. So Dak did beat Fields and Jones, right? So technically, you know, but we gonna just leave it there. And Dak stayed beat Matthew Stafford when he was with the Lions, but that's a whole nother story. And it's strange to me that Stafford led the league in interception the year he won the Super Bowl, or he was on the team that won the Super Bowl, and not a soul, not one word is mentioned about the Super Bowl and the INTs because he won the Super Bowl. I get all of that. So run it up, Law. Yeah, spit out the quarterback. Yeah, logic. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so with that, let me know if I'm wrong. Put it like this. Can you find tape of Matthew Stafford beating Cooper Rush? No. Can you find tape of Danny Jones beating Cooper Rush? No. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's the type of argument that we will have in these streets around here. Yes, indeed. Can you find tape Jalen Hurts beating Dak Prescott? Nope. You know, but I get it. You know, I love it, man. Every single day. My guy, Lord Brunson, and Mr. Rome, and my guy, Jay Tuck, man, it's a fun show over there on Twitter, man. They be going back and forth every day. They be going back and forth over who's better, who's not, and these sorts of things. It's funny to me how all of that is working out. But when it comes to think of it, man, Danny Jones, let me pull up Danny Jones, man. Daniel Jones. Where he at, man? Daniel I-N-E Jones. Okay. Yeah, something. E, the I come before E, y'all, okay? You know, I just learned that. You know, I just play with y'all. All right, so 3,206 yards passing, 15 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. That's your king? That's your guy? And it's funny to me that what a difference a year made. This was the previous year, 2021. He had 10 tubs, seven INTs. He had 11 touchdowns, 10 INTs. And 2019, he had 24. Matter of fact, to be fair to Danny, he had a better 2019 year than he had in the last season. You know what I'm saying? 24 touchdowns, 12 interception, 3,000 yards. Come on. Why wasn't he ranked that high there? You know, that was his rookie year. Yeah. Yeah. So all of a sudden, his rookie year, he had the same rookie year that he had last season, right? Or same season that he had his rookie year, and now he's the third best quarterback in the NFC. I can't make this stuff up, yo. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness, man. Chris Smith says, literally, half of Dak interception were receivers' errors. Last year, maybe Dak best year ever. Dude had zero talent on the outside of Lamb, but had the NFL best offense when he played. Yeah, the thing is with Dak Prescott, let me pull up Rain Dakota Prescott one more time, and granted, there should be I want to hear y'all say, no excuses for him. 2,860 yards, 23 touchdowns, 15 INTs. Now, it do say tied for first, but people say we're first. And what they do is, I love how people do the numbers. They would say literally, well, he missed 5 games and he led the league in interceptions within those 5 games. Well, I get all of that. I understand all of that. But you use the argument to benefit the reason why to knock him. But last year, before last, what have you, when he had to pull calf muscle and he missed that one game, no one literally said, well, hey, he missed the game, but his touchdown totals with one game less equates or equivalent to what Pat Mahomes and as well as what was the other guy? Aaron Rodgers was doing. So they had an extra game more, right? And he had one game less, and nobody talked about that. Nobody talked about it. But now all of a sudden there's a vital evidence that man is trash now because he led the league. I love how people use that as a situation line for your mind. The hotline for your mind, baby. Let's bring it up. It's brought to you by News Break. For your best information around the globe,
you are the only participant.
Join News Break.
All participants are muted.
I'm going to put it in the chat. Come on. Come on. Keep it real with me now. Don't be fake and phony with me. Call in with your thoughts. I want to know. I need to know. Keep up with the nation, baby. Come on.
Keep it off the books and keep it coming in.
Keep it coming in, baby. Call my phone, hit my line. Only one's down for me, baby. I love that beat, though. What that beat come in? The snares right now. Keep it simple. And watch this. Ooh. Get to cut you off.
Some more friends like my brothers, I can't trust it all. Same ones in your corner wanna see you fall. Now I only need an account, the ones who
ball with me.
Down the fall.
Oh my gosh, man, that boy had some bars, man. Y'all see them bars, man? That boy, Nick had some bars on that one, man. I appreciate y'all. Chris, I saw you, man. You was the first one to call in, man. 469, what's on your mind, Chris?
What's up, Law? How's it going?
Nothing to it, man. All is well. Holler at me, man. What's on your heart?
Man, so me and my friend, she's a Giants fan. She's a big Daniel Jones. She loves, so we was having this little talk about who is hated more, Daniel Jones or Dak Prescott. I was like, why is that even a question? Y'all might hate him over there over there in Giants land.
No.
But Dak Prescott is by far the most hated quarterback in the league. Just last year, when Cooper Rush won like 2 or 3 games, oh man, hey, that better watch out. That don't even know how to read defenses.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make sense to me.
I mean, it don't make sense at all. And on top of that, let me know, man, because I could be on another world right now. But didn't the Cowboys sweep the Giants last season? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
With their backup quarterback with one game and with the starting quarterback the next game. But didn't wasn't Jones out there on the field? Wasn't he out there? Was he the quarterback on the field versus the backup quarterback and versus the starting quarterback, or it was another quarterback out there?
He was there both games. Both games. And her main argument was they don't hate Dak because every year they have us to go all the way. And I'm like, have you been living under a rock? Like, have you been living under a rock? I'm like, yo, Dak hate is as long as Dak have a star on his helmet, and I ain't talking about the one in Houston. I'm talking about the one in Dallas.
Yeah.
As long as Dak have a star on his helmet, he's always going to receive hate. Dak could throw for 5,000 yards in one game. Somebody gonna say, "Oh man, he ain't do nothing." So like,
I mean, that's gonna be the argument. And people will say, "Hey man, he's been in the league for 8 years now. We want to see something new." But can you tell those people that say that what year that they didn't hate him? Because I can recall 16, they didn't want him to be the starter, right? They was like, hey, man, when Tony get back, we can't wait to see him. And then in 17, they was like, hey, man, this dude can't read. He's dink and dunk. That's when the whole flavor of, hey, he's dink and dunk, coined by Colin Cowherd, dink and dak. And then the 2018, let's get rid of him. So every year it was like, hey, let's get rid of him. Let's get rid of him. And sometimes, I kid you not, I promise you, I kid you not. I talked to my brother, and I said, sometimes, man, I wish that we went on ahead and drafted Paxton Lynch. You know what I'm saying? I wish we'd have went on ahead and got Paxton Lynch so we can be talking about something else. I would still been loving my Cowboys. It wouldn't have been no more or no less. But people fail to realize that they don't know what they got good until it's gone. So the day that Dak Prescott leave and gone, what have you, to another team, I just can't. Look, I'm like them. I can't wait for him to go so we can start talking about something else.
Exactly. And one last thing. Dak has beaten New York Giants, I think, 10 times straight.
Yep.
Tell me why the last time that the Giants beat us, I believe it was Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so. I think that was the COVID year. Right?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Stop playing. Oh, and I think Daniel Jones was playing in that game as well.
Yeah, that makes him 1-7 or something like that. 1-6 or 1-7 in that game. So he's 1-7 versus the Cowboys, but he's better. He's the best quarterback in the NFC. So if that's the bar, then hey, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man.
You have a good one, Law.
Yes, indeed, man. That's my guy, Chris 214, man. Good call from him, man. Yes, indeed. All they do is move the goalpost. Sean, yes, indeed, man. They love to move it, man. I got my guy from the 214 again, man. But this is Darius, man. Talk to me, man.
You know what, my guy? I actually, I'm going to jump right into it. I actually don't have no problem with Dak. I'm just not a Dak apologist, and I'm not a Cowboy apologist. Anytime, I'm just a realist. You know what I'm saying? I actually don't have a problem with nothing that Dak was doing last year. Because I seen he was being more aggressive. He was playing a lot more aggressive, and he was forcing a lot of passes. He's just forcing a lot of passes, and a lot of those passes he shouldn't have threw. But I'm okay with that because he used to be overly conservative, and that's what used to aggravate the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I actually kind of like this version of Dak more, but I'm just not finna apologize about it. So. And then whenever we take an L, whenever the Cowboys take an L, I stand on it. You know what I'm saying? When we lost, when people, you know what I'm saying? Because I go back and forth with all type of fans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they expect for me to be under pressure. You know what I'm saying? They expect for me to go hide. I'm like, no, we lost. That's
all right.
L.
So let me ask you this though.
You
You said you're not Dak apologist, which I can understand, but then you said you're not a Cowboys apologist, right? What is your definition of an apologist?
So what I mean by apologist is people try to make excuses for bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not
excuses for bullshit. Yep, I feel you.
You know you know what I'm saying? Like they like a person can do no wrong, even though it's saying like a legitimate point about your quarterback, Dak Prescott. You want to be like you want to get defensive. No, I ain't finna do that. No, what I'm gonna say is he shouldn't have threw that pass.
All right, I feel you. But let me say the definition for the word apologist. It's a person who offers an argument in defense of something controversial. The similar word to an apologist is a defender, a supporter, an advocate, a fan. So when you say you're not a Cowboys apologist, that means that you're not a Cowboys fan, meaning that we stand ground on those who are pulling against us, because that's just what it is. At the end of the day, and I feel you where you stand at on this, right? But when we talk about these things, it's us putting out the empirical facts and evidence about said something, right? So when I pull up this article and I pull up the fact that, yeah, Dak Prescott is not mentioned in the top 5, I get all of that. But using the standards that they utilize, that's when I began to make my apology. Meaning that Cooper Rush beat Matthew Stafford, Cooper Rush beat Daniel Jones, and you got Daniel Jones ahead of Brock Purdy, but Cooper Rush beat those dudes. So as a Cowboys apologist or an advocate for the Cowboys or like a defense attorney for the Cowboys, a supporter, then that list right there is not valid, right?
I mean, I get your whole point with the list. All I'm saying, what I'm saying is, this Cowboy shit, this is my blood.
I know. Right.
Can't nobody, can't nobody tell me nothing about, the Cowboys. All I'm saying is I don't make excuses for the Cowboys. I don't make excuses for Dak. When you wrong, you wrong. When you did something wrong, you wrong. And it's okay to admit when you did something that wasn't right. I'm just not finna, go into, just make excuses for bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But, right. My other point was, like I said, I don't got a problem with Dak. I'm just saying, let's get this understood. He is, realistically speaking, Dak somewhere it is on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? And it is time to, turn the corner, and we need to start looking for playoff wins out of Dak. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to have to start seeing that, just truthfully speaking, just objectively speaking. Yep. He is, somewhere on the hot seat. And I know he is off his furniture right now, but he won't stay like that if, you know what I'm saying, we don't start turning the corner and start winning championship games. But that's not what I kind of called in for. I'm finna go ahead and say this right now. If anybody, MJ, disagree with anything I say, my number is 2.
Whoa! We can't dox. Well. You put it in the text. You can put it in the text line or Twitter, but can't dox though. Yeah. They'll flag us.
Okay, I'm just because I got to tell this to MJ, sir. Let me tell you something. You had a whole lot of hot shit to say to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know right now. Instead of talking about Cowboys, you need to go talk to a dentist, my brother. Don't come at me like that.
I feel you, man. Hey, Darius, man, I feel you, man. Hey. I know where you say you from Oak Cliff, right, man? Hey, man, where you from, dog? Where you from there?
Yeah.
Oak Cliff, I know it's coming out on you, man. Hey, man, come on, man. Hey, we all love each other, man. Come on, man. I feel you, man. I know where you about to go. But hey,
MJ, don't do that.
Let's go, man. I appreciate you, man. Let's go. That's my guy, Darius, man. Yes, indeed, man. All right, woo. That's my guy. Call back tomorrow, Darius, man. And MJ, man. Hey, let's stop fighting each other, man. Let's stop fighting each other, y'all. I don't want to be the Maury show, man. I don't want to be that show, man. Y'all, come on, man. We got kids out here, too. You know what I'm saying? Where my guy at you?
I ain't mad at you.
Yes, indeed. Ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad.
Come on, y'all. Let's calm down. We were once two fans of the same colors. You know what I'm saying? The same team. Quick to holler at the... Oh, my gosh, man. Come on, y'all. All right, man. Woo. let me bring up, man, my guy, man, Big Pimpin'. I know he's driving all around the world and everything. But, yes, man, we on the same side, man. We ain't finna be fighting each other, man. Talk about people, what they look like. Let me be the person to talk about people. You know what I'm saying? You know. All right, man, I got my guy, man, Big Pimpin', man, from the 281. You're live, man.
Hey, Lord, what's going on, man? No, that man didn't talk about that man T. He was wrong. But that's no, he was wrong, bro. But hold on, Lord, you about to get us in trouble. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how.
Why?
Just today, now you were talking about 5-year promise ring. The other day, you were talking about us spending too much money on the ring. Okay. So, hey, you gonna have us really getting them directions from them lot lizards for real. Okay. So we gotta work on that. But hey, man.
Hey man, but you know how it is, man. You've been dating Shorty for a long time, man. You know, the first day you ain't really all the way in. The first day you be like, hey, see what had happened. You know, you start making up other things. You really want that car, right? You know, you really want that house. I'm trying to save up money to get this house for you. I'm trying to save up money. You keep kicking the whole commitment down the line. We all been there before, man. You know. We just looking for a better. We hold on. Look, the truth of it is, Big Pimpin', we looking for a better deal, right? But we just holding on to the thing that we got right now until that better deal come through. Fellas, we've been doing that for many of years. That's just what it is. Now, the woman that don't understand that, then that's just her, you know?
But, hey, man, you got to give her one of them big candy rock rings, man, the ones where you lick it, okay, and they come. And you can get them in Sam. They come by about 50 per case. All right, so she got one for every day. She got one for every day. That's a fat rock.
You ain't lying,
hey,
dog.
Man, but what I call for, man, you already know what they going to do with TP, man. They ain't going to give TP no second contract. They ain't going to give it to him. He going to play out this year, and they going to let him go, too. Because, hey, Zeke was living good on off that second contract. They ain't finna go through that no more.
Yeah.
They're not going to go through that no more with a running back. They already said, like you said the other day, hey, 5 years, that's it.
That's it, man. But Zeke, let me tell you, Zeke was smart. Zeke was smart because he got in front of it, right? His agency saw that.
Right.
They got in front of it. D-Law was smart because he like, okay, I know what I can do, and he played lights out, hair on fire type of thing. 14 sacks. And then they said, all right, do it again. He had 11 and a half. His price went up, you know. And Dak, regardless of how we looked at it, the Cowboys gambled on that, and they ultimately lost. They lost because of the fact that what he was doing those first few games, even though, you know, he got his leg all snapped up in that Giants game, right?
Right.
He was putting up some good numbers. So at the end of the day, even though the Cowboys were not winning, the numbers, you get paid off of the numbers, not by the wins and losses. And the numbers presented itself. And I think that the Cowboys were even then leaning on letting Dak Prescott go, but the numbers were there. Unfortunately.
Right.
You know, for both parties, but the numbers were there, and you had to pay him, you know, at that point. And now the Cowboys are stuck in that middle place where you can allow the cap to hit. They didn't want to do that, so they extended him. And now they're still looking at him like, all right, these are the things that we want you to do, but we're going to bring in Brandon Cooks now. We're going to alleviate some of the issues which you had with the offensive coordinator, and we're going to roll out a better scheme and philosophy for you so that, you know, you can make things happen.
So let me ask you a question. So I know there's different versions of the West Coast offense. Okay, so are we going to be running the one that Shanahan brought in? Or are we going to run that one? Or are we going to be running the one that, what was the San Francisco coach when they ran in San Francisco? Or are we going to be running the one that Green Bay, where they ran the big, what, Hogan? Or are we going to run that one? Which one are we going to run?
All right, so West Coast is traditionally West Coast was never in shotgun, right? So Mike McCarthy runs a hybrid version of West Coast. the Marty Schottenheimer version, whereas you still utilize the principles, but it's not automatic. It's not 1,000% all in on West Coast. Now, as far as your zone, now what we need to look at, the variations of it is the run game theory. Like, are we going to be more of a zone blocking team, or you're pin to pull with your center and these sorts of things? And we would know all of that after, at the end of this month, which direction they're going to go with guard play as far as drafting. Are they going to get guards that can get out in space, get to the second level, get in the way? Or are we going to be running out of traditional sets more versus running out of shotgun, et cetera? So those are things that I'm looking for as far as this West Coast. But as far as the passing scheme, you should see your deep overs, your shallows, your tunnels to get your quarterback in rhythm. And I think that Mike McCarthy, I was looking at some of his, he got a quarterback camp videos that's floating over YouTube or what have you. His primary goal will be, I want to warm the quarterback up with short to intermediate throws before the big one. So it's going to be a concept to it. Whereas you've seen even with Aaron Rodgers, the years that he was in Green Bay, he didn't go deep immediately in first quarter, second quarter. He would hit you up with the short to intermediate throws and save his 1 to 3 big plays somewhere in the game based on how your defense is aligning and assignments up from there. So, so we're going to see more of that concept. Kill him with the short to take over with the deep and also utilize the run game. So we'll see some variations of that.
So we're gonna look like, San Francisco with the fullback, or we're gonna go like how Denver used to run it, and they didn't have a fullback.
We're gonna look like the 2010, 2011-ish Green Bay, mixed in with the 2017-18 Seahawks. We're gonna take some of those concepts. Now, some of the option routes, I think that Mike McCarthy will keep that with players, but not everyone. I think Lamb will still have option routes, and the tight end will still have a few option routes.
Yeah,
that's more in speculation. So check out me, man, when we get out there to I can't even say Oxnard. When they come back to Frisco. And when I start looking at formation and how they align, I probably not even say it out loud. I might just do a show and be like, hey, it might be. I'm gonna put a lot of might be's because I don't want to tip the hand out for week 1. But I can tell you on how formation and alignment and assignment, what variations we would have. But you would know more too if you see a fullback on this team. You'll know more of it too.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. I hope we do get the fullback. I want us to go into the zone scheme with like San Francisco run that's very power.
Yeah, power zone scheme. Power. Yeah. I think that will be good for us, especially with the offensive line that we will have, because all of them, or majority of them, are built for a lot of run blocking. And so. I think that would be best for us. But I was just giving you a call, man, to talk to you again. So, no doubt,
thank you for and hey, man, I want to see what you got for us tomorrow on them rings tomorrow. We're gonna see.
I got something up my sleeve. All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. That's big pimping, y'all. Yes, indeed. Good call from. But y'all give it what I've said, right?
The conference has been locked.
All right, we got my guy from the 202, Glenn. Law, you're live.
Hey, what's good, Law?
Not much, man.
Thanks for taking the call.
Anytime.
So I appreciate you kind of going over what the, these critics, and I always look at critics of, I guess, the national media, the critics of the Cowboys, with a pretty healthy degree of skepticism, because there seems to be so many agendas, right? They typically want to bury the Cowboys in some way, even if it's just a backhanded kind of insult, and I'm sure you've caught those too over the years. Yeah. The thing that I can't understand is that prior to this past year, right, when Dak was basically playing at a Pro Bowl caliber level, even as a rookie, the consensus from the critics was, well, it's because he has Zeke, he has the O-line, he's got Witten, he's got Dez, he's got Cooper, he's got all these weapons, so he should do well. But when he doesn't have all of that, and then he has a shaky year, well, see, then that's really him. So in other words, Dak can't have any weapons. He can't have any top players at any offensive position. That's how you find out who Dak is. But every other quarterback gets to have all the bells and whistles. Have you kind of noticed that?
I peep game on that. The whole philosophy was, can he do it without the offensive line? Can he do it without Ezekiel Elliott? Can he do it without a wide receiver? And the Cowboys front office and everything, they kind of leaned into that and said, okay, all right. And they went with that philosophy in 2018. They tried to do it without the wide receivers. They did it with wide receiver by committee as well as tight end by committee. Their only dedication to that wide receiver room was a third-round draft pick out of Gallup. That's equivalent to going into this season with only Jalen Tolbert, right? And expecting us to go further than the doggone Eagles or someone. But that's just how it goes, man, with the Cowboys front office as well as the media. They want us to always have those things to talk about. Can we do it without?
Right. But here's the thing that I really think is going on too, which I think a lot of people don't talk about. I think there are a lot of national critics that are a little bit jealous at the fact that, look, the Cowboys haven't really had to spend top draft capital on a quarterback in over 30 years. I mean, listen, they were able to get Tony Romo, who, what was he, a 6th-round draft pick?
Mm-hmm.
Undrafted guy.
Yeah, undrafted Tony Romo.
You're right. He was undrafted, right? Mm-hmm. Back in 2003. And they immediately transitioned to a 4th-round quarterback in Dak Prescott. I mean, you put that together, you're talking, that's over 20 years of quarterback play. My point is that these guys that the Cowboys have had, nobody else is getting that kind of productivity out of the quarterback position so that we could use our draft capital at other positions. We're not in quarterback Siberia like a lot of these teams had to go through for years on end. And I think the national media, I think they can't stand that, but they'll never admit it. They can't stand that because we're not supposed to be this successful with quarterbacks who aren't basically seen as being the top prospects because we just haven't had to occupy that place in the draft. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, everything. If we were to, here's the thing though. I think that the Cowboys, where we've been at, averaging 8-8 seasons and then averaging after the Romo era, we only had one. Look, post Romo era, we only had one losing season. One losing season, and that was due to injuries in 2020. All right, so if you contextual, and we were one game out of that, of winning that division, believe it or not. I think the Washington team won one more game than us. So the Cowboys were not put in place to draft a top-tier quarterback within the first 10 picks or what have you, outside of a few times since that time frame, right? And both times that we did, one time we drafted Ezekiel Elliott, the other time we drafted Michael Parsons. So the Cowboys, is hard-pressed for us to say, okay, why the Cowboys don't evaluate quarterbacks right and these sorts of things. Because when they do evaluate quarterbacks, it's the Paxton Lynch's of the world. It's some guy named Ford. Is what's the guy name? McGee, and Steve McGee, whatever that guy's name.
Stephen McGee, yeah.
Stephen McGee. It's guys that the Cowboys been missing on, right? And the other time, of course, we had Quincy Carter. But Quincy Carter himself, he went 10-6 with a quarterback as a quarterback for the Cowboys under Bill Parcells. So it's one of those things, man, that we've been snake bitten by these quarterbacks. But far as from what we were able to do with Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, technically is remarkable.
Absolutely. Last thing, and I'll let you go. I do feel bad for Tony Pollard for not being able to get the long-term deal. I think had he not gotten hurt, I think it would have been better than a 50% chance that they try to work something out. I think that unknown injury and how he'll bounce back from that, I think that was the one that pretty much said, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and put you on this one-year franchise. But I would like to see what happens with Saquon Barkley, right? Because if we could find out what the market is for Pro Bowl caliber running backs with a few years behind them, I think between Barkley and Jacobs, I think if they were to get long-term deals, and it's going to be like dominoes, right? One guy's going to sign, maybe, and then the other signs, it may be after this year. But I think once we see where the market is for these kind of running backs, then Tony Pollard may have a chance. Other than that, yeah, they're just going to keep drafting them and churn and burn, as they say. So
yes, indeed, man.
That's all I got, Law.
No doubt, man. Good call from him. That's Glenn Law, y'all, from the 202. Right. Yes, indeed. The Giants got the 25th pick. And if they have reservations on moving on with Saquon Barkley, they very much so draft for Bijan Robinson, right? I can see them using that pick for that. Have Bijan and Saquon. So the Giants, they're waiting for this draft to fall before they give Saquon that opportunity. Now teams can do that. They can put you on a franchise tag, still negotiate that, and then rip up that franchise tag even after you sign it and give you that long-term contract. But it will be after the draft. So that's why this draft is such a unique one, because you got the Josh Jacobs. I think that he's going to eventually get his big deal. They have reservations on off-field stuff with him, but eventually I think that he's the only one because he's the younger guy out of the groups. Tony Pollard is, 25, 26? The Cowboys already showed. They're going to show their hands this in a couple of weeks. We'll see. We'll know everything that the Cowboys are going to do at that running back spot. If they draft a running back early, whether it be the first or the second round, we would know the play on Tony. But at the end of the day, if they don't find the running back that they want, then they can circle back and run it back with Zeke. Zeke is right there on the shelf, right? Zeke is right there. They say, hey, man, we don't have 21 for you, but we got number 15. All right, Action Jackson, man, with the 945, you're live.
Hey, man, I just want to say, man, anybody got a problem with me, bro, they can call me now. Stop playing. But anyway, allow me, I tuned in at the wrong time. What's going on?
Hey, man, you know, everything well, man. It's just a little family feud, man. You know.
Yeah, a little family feud, a little respect. No, ain't nothing there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me and my brothers fought all the time, man, growing up, man. Shoot.
That's what we do. You know, that's what we do. The real, you know, they scrap it out and talk about it. You know, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all see you put the apologies on here. So what do you consider yourself? You a damn apologist?
I'm a Cowboy fan. Just like if I was primarily only a Dak apologist, I would have pulled this list up. Where that list at? And I would have said Dak Prescott, the number one quarterback in the NFC right now. You know what I'm saying? Without a game being played and without him even going to the Super Bowl, he's number one. And I wouldn't have been able to argue the fact that Cooper Rush would have been 3, right? Because I only would have been having my argument slanted towards Dak Prescott. But my thing is, here's the truths of it. Where do you place Dak Prescott, Action?
As in the NFC?
In the NFC, yeah.
NFC, okay. I gotta give it to Hurts. Hurts made the Super Bowl. I gotta give it to him before Dak, and I also gotta give it to Goff before Dak. He had a better season.
Who? You kind of broke up. You gotta give it to who?
Jared Goff. I give Jared Goff the 2 spot. My football knowledge saying I know he's not better than Dak, but I'm going off last year, right? So I give Goff 2. And I'll place Dak right there ahead of Brock Purdy, only because Dak played more games than Brock Purdy.
And head to head, Dak Prescott beating Jared Goff, right? But you put Goff in front of Dak.
Yeah, because look at the season. I'm just going off literally just the season from last year. Look at Goff's season he had last year, and look at Dak's season. I can't put Dak ahead of them just going off the season they had last year, because Goff had a better season last year. I'm just only going strictly off the season from last year. I'm not going over career off the season from last year, and that's why Hurts is number one. If I'm going off career,
but no. Where do this all go and starts though? Do it stops at the season, or do it stops at the postseason, or do you combine the postseason, or how are you contextualizing this?
I'm going whole season to the postseason, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm going whole season to postseason.
So in head to head matchup, Dak Prescott versus Goff, Dak outperformed Goff, but you got Goff ahead of him because of his total body of work of what he did against teams that Dak didn't play, right?
Yeah, just the whole season in general. You know what I'm saying? I got Dak ahead of Brock Purdy, even though Brock Purdy beat Dak head to head. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying in general, as a whole body of work for last year's season, Jared Goff had a better season. Dak made it to the playoffs. Jared Goff had a better season. Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, but he didn't play with a broken thumb, and then on top of that, he didn't miss 5 games. So he had 4,438 yards and 29 touchdowns and seven INTs.
But that's like almost it's like almost 2,000 yards more than Dak. So I have to put him above Dak. How can I put him behind Dak? That's like almost 2,000 yards, and look at the touchdown interception ratio. He got 7 interceptions.
Yeah, but also Goff in his total body of work never threw for over 35 touchdowns. Never threw for over 30 touchdowns almost.
But I'm not going on his career. I'm just on strictly from last year. I know Dak's a quarterback career-wise, but strictly from last year, Goff had better numbers. How could I put him above Goff? Have you seen? Put up their Goff numbers. If you haven't, No,
I just called him out. 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4,448 yards or 38 yards.
And what's Dak numbers?
Yes, with the injury that occurred to Dak. Let me pull it up again. 2,860 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions.
Come on, how could I place that above that?
Okay, so here it is comfortably. You go year to year, but for Dak, when he have a down year, you don't go year for year. So last year, no, because when I presented it, hold on. So when I presented Dak with better numbers than Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes last year, not a soul would put Dak in front of Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, right? Because his numbers were better. You see, that's the problem with. So last year, Action Jackson, you said that Dak Prescott was better than Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Bro, I have a cousin, my right hand man, my cousin. He'll tell you, I argue him up and down. Like, look at the numbers don't lie. This is what I'm telling him.
All right, man. Look. I can't recall. I can't recall many people was saying that. But if you said that, I'm gonna take your word as a grain. I ain't gonna take your word as a grain of salt because you one of my guys. Actually, you know what I'm saying. But the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder network don't go for year to year. They put in whole total body of works, and they say, hey, what have you done for me lately? Then they say, let's take this out and let's contextualize it from this standpoint. So it is what it is.
They ain't gonna do that, man.
Yeah. So Dak every year he got to do better than everyone. They don't look at total body work. It starts over at 0.
I'm not saying that. I'm only judging I'm just judging the NFC from what happened last year. It can change. I'm not. Me in my mind, I know Dak is the best quarterback in the NFC. I don't get it twisted. I know that, but I'm saying as I'm judging off of last year when we go to ranking these quarterbacks coming into this year. They had to go by what they did last year, right?
So for example, all right. So and I'm gonna pull this up, and I'm not saying that you did this, but what I'm saying is they did that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I pull up Matthew Stafford's, let me see him pull up Matthew Stafford's stats. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up Matthew Stafford. So he had 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, right? 2,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They still put him above Dak Prescott, and why? They wasn't using your philosophy, wasn't they wasn't using your philosophy. Because Dak had a better year.
They gave him the Super Bowl. They gave him the Super Bowl. That's what it is. They gave him the Super Bowl not to let Dak. Me personally, that Cooper Rush argument, that was the wrong argument, though. Because Cooper Rush only played 5-6 games. Everybody on that list had played a minimum of 10 games. So you couldn't put Cooper Rush on that list. As in, the argument with Cooper Rush, that was the wrong argument.
Wait a minute though. But head to head, he beat Stafford. He beat my guy Danny Jones, and he also beaten, huh? So that what we call moving the goalposts. Now it's a 10-game qualifier. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now it is a minimum of 10 games. How many games did? Let me see how many games my guy played. How many games did Stafford play?
Stafford played like 10, 11 games. What I'm saying is like
that's terrible. Then 10 touchdowns in 10, 11 games. Keep going.
Of course, they not but quote unquote, they gonna say he was injured also. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Those apologies for him and his franchise over there. That's what they're gonna say. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna bring up what happened to Dak. Nobody's gonna bring up what happened to Dak unless you're a Cowboy fan. We're gonna bring that up. Nobody else is gonna bring it up. Dak don't get he don't get that benefit. Unfortunately, but that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is Cooper Rush only played 5 or 6 games. How could he be qualified in that?
Because at the end of the day, he's gonna say, "Hey, I'm 4-1 as a starter." But I get what you're saying, though. Collectively, he didn't have a full total body of resume and work. So I get all of that. But in the playoffs, for example, Jalen Hurts didn't throw a single touchdown in the playoffs. Right? In the playoffs, he didn't throw a single touchdown in the playoffs. But they won those games. So everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, going to say, hey, man, this dude he played better than Dak Prescott and anybody else out there, right? But in the Super Bowl, he did throw touchdowns. So I get it. Being on the team benefit you when they win. They don't look at the total body of stats and everything else. As long as you win, you get that, accolades of, hey, I'm a playoff winning quarterback, right? Yeah, that's how goalposts been moved, though. You know what I'm saying? They just continue to move the goalposts.
But nobody gonna count Trent Dilfer or Brad Johnson. They gonna say Super Bowl winning quarterback.
True. True to that.
They gonna always say Super Bowl winning quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So to teach his own.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's all I had. I had a little pushback on that Cooper Rush argument, That's all I had with you. I don't want no beef with you, bro.
Nah, man. I ain't gonna catch you in the street, man. And I'm gonna catch action in the street, man. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I called a plane out to Cleveland late last evening, All right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Guy.
Yes, indeed, man. It's a good call from him. But the narrative, look, I get it. There's only one quarterback. Let me know if I'm wrong. There's only one quarterback that's been called ass on national TV, and he's not on this picture, right? So I promise you, it don't matter what anybody else do, or no matter what anybody else will do in the future, there will be only one quarterback that's called ass or trash, and it's going to be Dak Prescott. That's just the bottom line of it. I don't care if he had a broken thumb, elbow, spleen, rib busting through the chest. It don't matter. It's only going to be one quarterback that they're going to view that way. And ain't nothing we can do about it as fans. So Dak Prescott himself, he going to have to pick up himself and make a difference on that. Because the perception would be, hey, he's ass, he's trash. Nobody else would be given that. And let me know if I'm wrong. If it was another quarterback that somebody said, hey, man, that guy's ass or that guy's trash. Those words don't be said to any other quarterback, regardless of whether or not they're coming off of an injury or going into an injury or what have you. All right, so I got my next guy from the 205. You're live, fam. Talk to me, Cam.
Oh, Cam.
Yes, indeed.
Hey,
man, Law, man, you know, all the back slander. I mean, like dude who called her. I don't make excuses for that. I don't make excuses for nobody on the team. See what I'm saying? But why we always talking about the quarterback? Like it ain't like it. It's Dak versus the Chargers. It's Dak versus this. It's Dak versus that. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we have a whole roster. We have a 53-man team. We got people on the practice squad. All that counts. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, sports, the only thing we hang our hats on is on the quarterback. That's the only person that's out there playing. That's the only person who like Dak got duplicates of them on the field. That's just how it sounds right now. Dak played O-line, Dak the quarterback, Dak the running back, Dak the receivers, then Dak Dak on the defense too. He's Michael Parsons in the flesh right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to stop doing that because I hear it all the time. LeBron James, like I got a thing from ESPN yesterday. LeBron James trail. I think they played the Clippers last night, if I'm not mistaken. LeBron James trail the Clippers. LeBron James trail this person. It's not LeBron. It's the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's not Jason Tatum. It's the Celtics.
Yeah.
So that means it's not Dak Prescott. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's the Dallas Cowboys. We have to. I kid you not. It kills me because it's like people they sit here and watch the 3-letter and 4-letter networks and then they sound just like them. Oh yeah, Dak this, Dak that. Yeah, Dak fucked up.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
He did.
He messed up.
Yep.
But he was not alone. Them tipping overthrows, them tips came from the receivers. Them overthrows came from Dak. The tips came from the receivers. The overthrows came from Dak.
Right.
My coach always said, I'm pretty sure your coach always said, that ball hit your hand
Catch
and
it.
you drop it.
Yep.
Or that ball hit your hand and you don't catch it. Guess what? You finna be out here conditioning. You better just be ready for practice, whether we win or not. That's how my coach was.
Mm-hmm.
Just be ready for practice, because there's no way that you should be dropping that ball definitely when it hits you dead in your hands.
Yep. You got.
So it was receivers, Dak, O-line, defense. I don't care what position. It was everybody's fault, because they just didn't say, oh yeah, Dak threw 2 interceptions, and so now we gonna let the rest of the team go and Dak got to stay behind. No.
Yep.
The whole organization went home.
Yep.
They went home. Let's stop the Dak slander. Because you want to be honest, I'm not a Dak apologist. Never will be. I'm not an apologist for nobody but myself.
Yep.
But see, my whole thing is, if it's so much of Dak's fault, throw somebody else out there.
That's the era. You know what? Just to be real, Cam, that's the era I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I just can't wait for this whole thing to just be over with, because every year is something. And then what they do is they taint every little thing that we say, and they was just out for that. Regardless of you saying that you're not an apologist, you are one now. You know what I'm saying? You are an apologist now. But to be real with it, I can't wait. I really can't wait till the era be over with, so we can move on and just have someone else, and y'all will still see the same love and adulation from Law.
But see, my whole thing is we blame. I feel like people don't watch the game. I feel like, you know, and just say if Dak put up 40-some points and another team put up 40-some points, and just say we lose 48 to 42. You know what I mean? They're gonna say, well, Dak not playing a good game. Dak did this, Dak did that.
Yeah.
The defense let the other team get 40-some points.
No
so
doubt.
what did the defense do? Dak is not on the defense. And that's what kills me. If we're going to talk about football, then talk about football. Just don't talk about one player and feel like that one player should be Superman. Aaron Rodgers ain't Superman.
Man, hello.
Pat Mahomes ain't Superman. Tom Brady, he can make a case for being Superman, but he ain't Superman either. But he can make that case.
Yeah,
Because all I'm saying is I'm sick and tired of Cowboy fans coming on here, and they sound more like other people fans. If you want to be a Kansas City fan, go over there with the Kansas City Chiefs. If you want to be a Tampa Bay fan, go over there to Dak Bay, because Dak owned Tampa Bay now because he won when it was necessary. So take your butts over there. Don't come over here trying to being on this team, and the only thing you got to do is slander Dak name. I'm just saying.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you for calling in, Cam. Yes, indeed,
man.
Man,
no problem. But, Lord, man, I got to do this one more time, man. Hey, man, shouts out to you, my guy. It's nothing but love over here, man. It's nothing but love.
Bro.
I don't call in every show, but damn, I be watching every show. And I thank you for doing what you doing. And ain't nobody better than Law Nation doing what you doing now. You give us you give us videos, you break down what's going on. This is what you do. You spend 3 hours going back and forth, whether it's with Eastside Harry, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Or just anybody. You just do it and you do it for the squad. And that's why I love you, Law, man. Because you going to do it and you going to do it for the squad.
Appreciate
you, man. The
only
thing I got to say is how about them Cowboys and how about Law Nation, man? I'm out.
Man, that's a good call from Bill, man. Let's sing it a little louder, man.
Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Come on.
Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Nothing but love for you, baby.
That's my guy, Cal, man.
Nothing but love for you, baby.
That boy hit that last note, man. Yes, indeed, man. All right, so let me give out. We got the 240, then we got J May, and then we got MJ to close out. So, hey, for the 240, you're live.
What's up, Law? How you doing, bro?
Yes, indeed, man. Great, man. How you living, man? Talk to me, man. What's on your heart?
I'm doing good, man. First time caller, man. Listen to you all the time, man. Want to give you big ups, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
You doing your thing, man.
Appreciate
but look,
you.
man, I'm tired of all these Dak haters, man. Like, this is crazy, man. I hope you got all these receipts, man, because after this year, man, when Dak do his thing, man, I don't want to hear these same people all on the bandwagon again on Dak, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy, man. I don't understand how a dude gets so much hate. He had one bad year. I mean, the dude had 37 and 10 touchdowns, and then you get rid of his best weapon in the first game. He messed up his thumb, so he had thumb surgery. He come back, yeah, he had some bad interceptions, but some of those was receivers' fault. But everything is Dak. And a lot of times I'm talking to people, man, it sounds like I'm talking to Shannon Sharp, man. I'm like, man, you just repeating what you hearing on TV, man.
Wow, you ain't lying. Ooh, hey, and don't forget, when he broke his thumb, it was at home, right? And on his way to get the X-ray on the thumb, people were throwing trash and garbage at the man. Mm-hmm. And that's what people fail to realize, you know what I'm saying, to bring up and mention. So the quarterback of your team that never had a losing season when healthy, right, that had the minimum amounts of targets as it relates to what was out there on the field that day, playing against Tampa Bay, the defensive coordinator and the defensive players all said that they knew what the Cowboys were going to do. When he broke his thumb, leaving, people were throwing trash at him, garbage at him, spitting upon him. And I get it. Like, people, I know we got some crazy people in this world, but name me another quarterback that was on any other team that only had one losing season, right, that get treated like that. Name me one, and I'll hush.
I can't name you one, bro. And not even just winning seasons, man. Just look at Dak's numbers. Last year was the first year he had turnover problems. But everybody want to make it seem like he been like this since he entered the league. It's crazy, man. Like how people be talking about his turnovers, The man had one bad year. And off of a thumb, and I ain't going to make no excuse, but if the truth is the truth, he had thumb surgery. That's the truth. It ain't no excuse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he had one bad year, and everybody want to make it seem like Dak is turnover prone, man. But I don't know, man. I don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I love my Cowboys, man. I'm going to ride or die for these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? But I remember the Quincy Carter days. I heard you just a little while ago saying you can't wait till it's over. You can't wait till it's over to the next quarterback. So
Right.
you love that. I remember them Quincy Carter days.
Yeah.
Vinny Testaverde days and all these quarterbacks until we found Romo. I remember all
Brad Johnson, you know, Clint Stoner, you know what I'm saying? Tony Banks, baby. Cunningham. I couldn't stand Cunningham. They brought him over for a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Like, yo, do y'all remember these days? Like, come on, bro. Like, you know, we finally, this team, man, we went 12-5 back-to-back years. We improved so much at two of our weakest positions last year. Our second cornerback after Anthony Brown got hurt, and then our number 2 receiver. We improved drastically. You know what I'm saying? So this is a year for me going into this year, man. I know I'll be watching the Final Word a lot, man. You know, I was talking to Big Game James on one of the little pocket. I was telling him, man, I'm drinking that Kool-Aid with Boss, man. I'm really drinking that Kool-Aid, man. Like, I feel good. If we can get a couple of pieces in this draft, man, I think we need another dog to put out there with Parsons, man, to give Parsons a little break and let Parsons play a little linebacker sometimes, man. We need another dog rusher, man, who can do multiple things, man. Like, I feel good this year, though, Law, man. I really feel good about this team this year, man. Like, I've been around, you know, I'm 48, man, so I've been around in the 90s and when we was winning Super Bowls, so, and that was the last time I drank the Kool-Aid back in the 90s because I was confident about that team, you know what I'm saying? So between then and now, I've seen some good teams, but I always felt like our defense ain't too strong, or I don't trust our coaching, or I don't trust. But this year, now that we got rid of Kellen Moore, man, I'm all in, man. Injuries barn, you know what I'm saying? If we stay away from any major injuries, man, I feel good about this team right here, man.
No doubt, man.
Hey, I'm sorry. I know you got other calls, bro, but that quarterback list, man, you need to rub all that joint up and take a little fadeaway jump shot with that, man. That joint is terrible, man.
It's terrible, man.
Whoever that dude is that put that up there, that is crazy.
He got Kirk Cousins ahead of Dak too, by the way, on that list. He goes a little bit further. But what's your name? Let me save you in here, fam.
Clebo, man. Clebo from DC, bro.
Clebo,
Cleebo. Clebo from DC, man. I listen to you all the time, man. I'm gonna call some more too, bro.
Man, I appreciate you, man. I got you saved in here, Clebo, man. Appreciate you, fam.
All right, man.
All right, bro. Good call from you.
Keep doing your thing too, bro.
No doubt, man. Good call from him, man. We got 2 more callers, man. We stick it out over here, man. I normally don't go live around this time, though. I try to go live around 11-ish, but you know, circumstances and things happens, you know, especially when you're doing other capacities of things. But it's always good to listen to y'all, man, and bounce my thoughts across the table on what's going on and these sorts of things. But let me see if I can paint another picture before we let. You know, there's no rush, man. We good? Y'all good? There's no rush. We don't have to rush anything. My face gonna freeze a little bit right here. Boom. I'm just trying to save this picture right here before I let the next caller on. Y'all just hold tight, man. Let me see if I get this picture up here, because this is the society that we see. Boom. Let me read it out. Let me make it big. This is what we do right here. Have y'all ever seen this picture before? Let me know in the chat. It says the problem with giving in to urge to please everyone, you know, and this is how it is being a Cowboys fan. I'm gonna remake this picture up and probably Photoshop like Jerry Jones or somebody, Dak or somebody on a horse. But it says on the first picture, it says, "Wicked man, 2 of you on 1 donkey, ha ha," you know what I'm saying? And then the second picture to the top right, "Selfish man, you ride the donkey while your wife walks," you know, ah ha, you know, they laughing, you know what I'm saying? And then on the bottom left-hand corner, "Stupid man, your wife riding on the donkey while you walking," you know what I'm saying? Ah ha ha ha. And then "Clueless man, You don't even know how to ride a donkey. That's the Cowboy Nation. That's how y'all be talking about this team. That's how the 4-letter network talk about the team. Not everybody, because some of y'all ride with us, man. But that's how y'all be doing us, man. It's just what it is. You can't satisfy everyone. Everybody got something to say. Regardless. Poor little donkey. Look at that donkey, y'all. Poor donkey. Look at that. You letting the man ride the donkey, y'all. The wife is twerking. She's walking, you know. Oh, you stupid, man. Your wife on top of that donkey. Come on, man. Clueless. Y'all don't know what to do. Y'all crazy. You got a donkey right there. You got a donkey right there. You don't know how to ride the donkey. Riggs, I'm getting too old for this, Riggs. Every year. Look, we would go 12-5, 12-5, and people would say, oh, man, the Cowboys not successful. We would go 4 years in a row, 3 years in a row, whatever it was, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. Oh, man, we just need to do one little thing to be successful, you know? Boy, we was good years, man, when we was 8-8. Come on, y'all. Every time. I got my guy, man, from the 774. Jamie, you're live.
Law, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing great.
Right on, man, right on. Man, and listen, I love my Cowboys family.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we roll thick around the whole world, and we run deep, man. But I gotta ask, man, when did we become so spoiled? When did we become so spoiled, man? Like you said, the 8-8s, the Dave Campbell eras when we went 5-11, the Quincy Carters, Anthony Wright, Chad Hutchinson days.
Yeah.
And now that we go 12-5, back to back, and that's not good enough.
Still not.
It's crazy, man. When did we become so spoiled? It's just, it's mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling because of course, our main goal is to get the championship every year, man. But I can't hate on a 4th-round quarterback coming in here doing what he's been doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it starts with the 4-letter networks and the 3-letter networks. You know, it's when Dak went down, he got hurt. Oh, Cowboys are in trouble. They're nothing without Dak. Or when Dak was going for his contract, you all better pay Dak.
Yeah.
And now these are the same people that are saying, y'all ain't going nowhere with Dak.
Right. Oh, yeah. I remember that, man. I remember Uncle Shay Sharp. Yeah, he was like, hey, man, the Cowboys, they better pay Dak that dude, you know. And then they paid him. Oh, man, those some garbage time stats.
Exactly.
Empty calorie stats. Yeah.
Pay that boy. Yeah, you know, and then all of a sudden it was an empty calorie stats. Like, come on, make up your mind, man. Give it, you know, one way or the other. You know.
Man, I seen a guy to get $230 million guaranteed money off of garbage time stats, and it wasn't even mentioned not one game. Deshaun Watson, he went 4-12 or something like that year or something like that. He only won like 3 games, and I think it was the pandemic year. Look up his stats. Let me see what he went. Let me pull it up. I'm gonna use Pro Football Focus. Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely.
And no one brought up garbage time stats at all. No one said that, hey, man, that team is losing. Don't you think that's how they getting all of those gaudy numbers? But they are saying that, like, hey, man, shoot, he's balling, dog. You know, they just ain't winning. You know, Eastside Harold, if he's still watching, he would know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he threw for 4,823 yards, 33 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Go look up the 2020 Houston Texans record and let me know how many times garbage time stats, empty calories was brought up. They only looked at the numbers and said, hey, he's a good quarterback.
Mind-boggling. It blows my mind, man. Hey, listen, I know you got somewhere to go, some callers. I'm gonna piggyback off what Cam said, man. No one in the business does it like you do it, bro. I told you before, I'm from Massachusetts, man. Cowboys Nation runs thick over here. I introduced a few of my boys to your show, bro. They can't get enough, man. Listen, they listen to you every day. They even go back to the YouTube. You are the man, bro. No one in the business does it like you, and we appreciate you, brother.
Yes, indeed, man. I appreciate you, man. Salute, bro.
All right, bro.
Yes,
Salute
indeed.
back, my brother. Take care.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. That's my guy, J. May. He said he got pulled over by the cops, and he had me listening in the back. He was listening to my show in the background, and they was like, "Hey, that's Law Nation. Let him go." And I know he's telling the truth. So many places I be, man, and I'm like not an A-list celebrity or B-list, but I'm on one of those lists. I'm like maybe down there on the G-list celebrity. I'm working my way up to becoming an A-list celebrity. But I was in San Diego, right? Somebody ran into the back of me. It was about 2-3 years ago. The guy was just like, and I thought for sure he gonna say James Harden or something. He was like, man, I watch your podcast, man. You Law Nation, man. We gonna make sure we take real good care of you. Just pull around the side right there, and they took care of everything. Sometimes the other sergeant calls into the show, believe it or not. So it's always good, man, to be known everywhere we go. And that's just us talking about Cowboys. I can only imagine if I talked about all teams, right? Everybody be knowing Law. Everybody like, hey, Law, what's going on, man? And now what my Pelicans going to do, man? Newsbreak, the company that's sponsoring this show today, they was like, hey, man, you great at Cowboys. Is there a way that you can talk about the Mavs a little bit? Can you talk about the Clippers? Can you talk about baseball, soccer, hockey? You know what I'm saying? Bleacher Report, they gave me an unbelievable offer. And I was like, you know what? Hey, I kind of like just staying in my lane. I don't want to be fake and phony. I just want to stick to what I do, But shout out to Bleacher Report. No hate upon them. When it's time for them to circle back and talk more Cowboys. See, y'all don't know. All money ain't good money. I got to have my own IP around here, and I ain't afraid to say it. So, Law... the only time they can try to buy me, I need one of those Joe Rogan deals, man. Give me a Joe Rogan deal, man. I might switch sides then. You know what I'm saying? Law Nation getting $50 million to do a podcast there. Yes, indeed. Law be switching sides around here a little bit, but I'll still be me. I promise you I will be. Law, you blessed, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank y'all, man. All right, so let's go to my guy last but not least, man. Met him down here in Oxnard. And to live and die in L.A. My guy, MJ from the 206. You in the mix. Holla at your boy. You live.
What up, Law Nation?
Nothing much, dog.
Loving your show. Hey, I cracked up. I caught that at the end. You got to say one thing. To my brother from Texas. I love you, my brother. I'm an Israelite. Got to love thy brother.
Uh-huh.
Can't hate on you. Remember that.
Yeah.
Now, the two things, me and my boy, I ain't a killer, but I want, what's that, Tupac?
Ain't no killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy. I can't say the rest, you know what I'm saying? I'll
put $100 bet, and Law, you'll be the man to narrate it so everybody can see it. Me and him, we'll debate you, Texas, and Brandon for $100. Live.
Oh, you want to do like like a soiree, like let's say this. Yeah. You want to do something like that. You want to do a round table debate type of thing. You want to meet them at the table with debates. Just football now, just football.
Just football. Meet them at the table, and me and my boy Tupac with debate. You and Brandon, Big Mouth Brandon, and you live on Loud Nation, and we'll do it in a sensible way, no hollering and all that dumb stuff, because the fans want to hear the points, so everybody can see who's right or wrong. Now, in this game, I could be wrong, you could be wrong, or I could be right, or you could be right. You know what I'm saying? So, ain't no sense with, I know you're getting frustrated, but, I'm from East St. Louis, to let you know, Texas.
Shout,
if you ain't
shout
never
out
been
to
to
my
East
brother,
St.
19
Louis,
Keys.
thank you. I'm from Illinois. We just like Texas brothers now. Don't get it mistaken now, brother.
All right,
If you
man.
know what I
Hey,
mean.
I feel you. I feel you, MJ, man.
Yeah.
You know what? You know we
But,
know we're gonna do. We'll have a pop-up shop, man, without internet and everything in LA. Let's do something in LA next time we out there in Oxnard. You drive up. We go meet up at one of those spots and we'll have like anybody who want to have a debate type of groove. It'll be real live. You know, I pull out the 4K camera. We do it on 4K. What about that? At
we'll
training
have fun.
camp. Have fun with it, man. Yeah.
We have fun. It's all about fun. Because I know you're a passionate Cowboy fan. I'm a passionate Cowboy. And everybody hate to be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but somebody got to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But what I do got to say about Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. You know, we went through a lot of quarterbacks, and, you know, we get mad.
Right.
But y'all got to remember, I'm finna say it again, we could blame Dak, but we can't blame Dak because he gave us a big lead against Green Bay, and he gave us a big lead against, what's that team? The Jaguars.
Jags, yeah.
And if our defense would have played like they're supposed to, they should have never came back.
Yeah. But you know
y'all
what?
Never thought about that, did you?
Yeah. I feel you, man. Number one seed in the NFL. Yeah. That was on the table. I remember not this offseason, but remember last offseason. You and I, you called in. You was hot. You was red hot, man. You was really mad about Dak Prescott. And remember, you was like, at the end of the day, Law, can you break it down how many minutes he had and how many timeouts he had?
Let me do it again.
Do it again. And that hold on. Before you say that, that's why I know for sure you're not putting Dak Prescott up here and you're not putting Dak Prescott down there. You're objective with your analysis. Go.
Thank you.
Go.
Here you go. This is for you, Brandon. You're going to love this. Last year, let's say everything was going wrong, forget it. We had 2 minutes and 51 seconds left to drive down the field and win the game. And Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore didn't come through. We lost. Then this year, 19-12. We had a few times to come down and they did it again to us. So I understand your frustration right there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he gotta be a Tom Brady. He has to. It doesn't matter. We can play bad all game, but he gotta be a Roger Staubach. He gotta be a
Troy. A Troy or
your boy from Kansas City.
Yeah.
But
Mahomes,
the key with that quarterback Mahomes got, he got that offensive coordinator, his coach.
Yeah, to put him
that's
right in that bag. Yeah.
Yes,
so let me say the backstory of what you were saying. MJ met me personally, man, in LA because he wanted to tell me again that, hey, you know, Dak Prescott, he still got to turn it on, Law. He had, at the end of the day, and that's where you and I agreed on. At the end of the day, I'm talking about the first time we lost against the 49ers. He had the ball in his hand. It was 2 minutes left on the clock. And Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott, and 3 times out, and you was arguing that, hey, we got to get rid of one of the two. Kellen Moore, Dak, they both can't exist because a real leader would have been able to go down there and score. And I was going back and forth with you, but at the end of the day, that's how arguments and debates supposed to be. You're supposed to have. That's how it's supposed to be. And I was mad at you, man. I was mad at you that day when you called in, but then when we talked to each other live, it was different, right? It was like, okay, I seen where you was coming from, because at the end of the day, that's on his resume. You had times, you had timeouts, and you had the ability to win the game, and he didn't.
And all the fans remember this game. This gonna kill y'all. Remember the Buffalo game? Tony Romo threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
And he still won.
Yeah.
He came back at the last minute. That's what And now I understand, Brandon,
Yeah.
and my boy from Texas. That's what y'all want Dak Prescott to do.
At the end of the day, that's what we want him to do.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care if we throw 20 interceptions. If we still got a chance at winning that game, and you got 3 timeouts with 1:50, this is time. This is prime time. Can you take us down the field and win the game?
Yeah.
Now this year, they gonna call the right schemes for you. You got dangerous receivers. You got tight ends. You got halfbacks. Everything's gonna be right. It's all on deck.
You know what? It goes back to this saying with those quarterbacks that's on a certain levels.
Yeah.
Don't leave no time on the clock. You remember that?
Don't leave no time on the clock.
Just don't leave no time on the clock.
Because that is dangerous. You know what I'm
dangerous,
saying?
man. Too much time.
Just look what you said with the Green Bay game.
Yeah.
When I thought we was going to win the game, you made a perfect game. But it wasn't because he was off the guy's corner. He pissed me off because he got caught looking in the backfield instead of still running with his man. And then he said, oh, he got out the backfield. And then he said, oh, he panicked.
You talking about Cooks? Yeah, you talking about Jones versus Cooks in that game?
Yeah. I was like, oh no! I looked at everybody. Oh, he finna get burnt. And he threw that ball to the sideline, and the only way he could catch it, and he caught on the outside and got that. I said, this stupid 31.
Oh yeah.
He got caught looking in the backfield instead of just staying with his man. And that's what I was taught when I played in defensive back. I stayed with my man until hey, that quarterback got to run for it. You stay with your man. Do not leave your man.
Do not leave.
Because if you leave your man, you gonna get torched.
Yo.
So, but we ain't got no excuses, man. The pressure, well, they put the pressure on Dak and McCormick. That's who the pressure on.
Yeah. I think that what will help us out, man, is when we have the last possession of the ball. Yeah. That one thing Mike McCarthy been saying is let's play smart football. Let's get back to the rudiments and the basis of football. And now we will see that. You know, it won't be none of this, oh, let's run 4 curls, let's go empty. You know, let's play the game, get money, get the points, and let's live to fight another day. Let's stop the risk and let's stop putting it all on one player.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with John Elway. When John Elway, when he got down to the end, he had TD. He had a great defense. Let's not put it all on John, even though he was old and gray at the time. But that's the philosophy that I think that the Cowboys are going to do for the 2023 season.
You got to run, use your feet. If it's 2nd and 2, if I'm the coach, man, if it's 2nd and 2, you don't see no man, give me the first with your legs. Don't force nothing. I don't want you forcing nothing, brother. Yeah. If it ain't fair, just run it for the 2. We'll live another day to keep this drive moving. And then one more law. I was on the show last night. He did it. I finally got to talk to what's your boy from Ohio?
Big Game.
Got the talk show.
James.
Big Game James. Big Game James say, "More finally in the house, MJ." I was in there with him and Coach them, and they was live. And they had the screen like you did when you could see our faces and stuff, all of us on there.
Mm-hmm.
He had that screen. And then we was talking about the halfback. I told him, I said, now, Big Game James, I'm the one I always disagree with you sometimes. I'm Stephen Jones number 2. He started laughing. He said, yeah, I know you're more. I say, one thing, I'm for the star. I'm not for the player. Because I say my favorite player of all time is Tony Dorsett. That's my favorite halfback of all time. And he got traded. So this is a warning to Tony Pollard. They gave you your bonus money, and they're going to let you have it. The $10 million, $11 million that you never had in your life. But they're going to come to you to see if you're loyal to them. Do you know you're only supposed to get $3 to $4 million a running back? So they're going to probably offer you a $12 to $16 million deal for $3 to $4 million a year. Now, if you listen to your agent and try to pimp them like Jordan Schultz, talking about you want $7 or $8 or $10 million, they're going to let you go. And then this halfback they about to draft, if it's Israel or the Illinois halfback or the Auburn halfback, one of them dangerous halfbacks, then you gone, brother. Say la vie. I love you, but I don't love you like that to go against the star. I'm with the Cowboys for life. Forget the player.
I appreciate you,
man.
MJ, man. Thank you for calling in, man.
Yeah,
all right.
and tell one more thing, Law.
What's that?
Tell my brother I love you. Brother, I got love for you. We're going to debate, though. I love you, man. You're going to get on that debate show, and we're going to go at it.
No
Salute.
doubt, man. Salute,
I love
man.
you, brother.
Appreciate
Shalom.
you, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I ain't mad at you, man. Appreciate you.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
Yes, indeed, man. It's a great show today, man. Y'all save these shows into your playlists, what have you. And join the Law Nation podcast. I'm going to post a link on that so that you guys can just rewind and listen to these videos and episodes. I know they long, right? But it's the off season. The off season is long for a reason. Appreciate Newsbreak for all what they do. If you want to be a part of Newsbreak, click the link in the that's pinned to the top of the screen there, and join Newsbreak and follow me there as well as we help grow that platform. We're close to like 7,000 subscribers there or followers there. And if you're a content creator, in the description box, there's also a place where you can join to be a content creator, and you don't have to meet certain thresholds or anything like that to start making money off of your hard work and what you put in far as a content creator. And you can start making remuneration from Newsbreak. Right. And let's do that. I want everybody to be successful in this content creation. So click on that link that's in my description box. Join them. It's a referral link too, by the way. So that also help the nation too. You know, everything is all for the good, so we can get out there to Oxnard and have not a good time, but a great time. Sadiq says, I got nothing but love for you, Law, and thank you for all that you do for the nation. I thank you so much, Sadiq. One love to you as well. Yes, indeed. Let's talk about this one more time, y'all. And as you guys can see with your natural eyes, that this is what's been going on with the nation. People will talk bad about you regardless of what you do. This is the best example, by the way. If you guys got another one, let me know, especially as it pertains to Dallas Cowboys, because we can clearly see that if you have two people on the donkey, they'll say, hey, man, poor little donkey, man. Y'all wicked, man. Y'all horrid. You know, y'all terrible people, man. Yes, indeed. And on top of that, if you fool around and put just the man on the donkey, oh, man, you wicked, man. How you not having your lady on the donkey, man? How terrible. And then if you just put the lady on the donkey, man, look what happened, man. Stupid man. Your wife rides on the donkey while you walking, right? It's just crazy, man. And on top of that, that's just how it goes, right, ladies and gentlemen? We can never satisfy the fullness, you know. I won't call y'all a fool, but we can never satisfy everyone. We got Gina with the G. To all of the Dak haters, keep his out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. So y'all listen to Gina, y'all. We got Coach Marv with a super chat. Law, this is what Dallas QBs go through. Always have and always will. Yes, indeed. That dude hitting that note right there, ain't it? Yes, indeed. Coach Marv is right on the money, man. And then he said, preach, brother, team sport.
I ain't mad at you.
Ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
Yes, indeed, man. All right, y'all, man. Let's get on up out of here. One love to you all. Appreciate you so much for tuning in and being part of this beautiful episode. I hope you guys learned a little something today, right? I hope you guys learned something on how we think and how we move today, too. And I hope and I pray that everything works out in the best way possible. But on our way out, you see, that is life itself. Everyone got an opinion. You know, I always say this too. Those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, right? So it's not changing anybody's mind, anybody's thoughts, anybody's conversational piece on how they relate to certain things. But the reality of it is that we will still support this nation regardless of it on my end. We were fans of this team before Dak Prescott learned how to count, before he knew his ABCs. We were fans of this team way before Tony Romo wanted to pick out a number, whether it was 9, 7, 10, or 11, right? We were fans of this team before Emmitt Smith, well, I was, made that number even more of a legacy number, you know. Of course, 22 is always a great number, by the way. We were fans of this team before the playmaker arrived, right? So now we dating ourselves. In the beginning, yes, Roy, you know, we were fans of this team before Jerry Jones bought the team. And we will be fans of this team when they're all gone. The legacies, the greatness, and all what they done did for this beautiful organization and franchise. But the haters, they gonna try to get you off kilter. The Eagles fans, they're gonna try as much as they possible to make believe that just because they won the Super Bowl in 2017, that it should feel better for them than us going through this 27 years of drought. They're gonna try to paint that narrative and that picture, especially fighting me and others on Twitter. But we got a chance to see the Super Bowl 3 times. And lo and behold, for the Eagles Nation, they win in the Super Bowl 4 times. They are 1-3. Let that sink in. 3 times the misery of them coming up short. That's a good situation. So when the next time an Eagle fan say, hey, Cowboy Nation, y'all haven't seen the Super Bowl in HD. Yes, they are right. But for dog sure, we never seen our team lose in HD. But we can truly pull up the tape to see y'all lose in triple HD. Let that sink in. It's all about perspectives, right? So the Washington team and the Giants, they cool. They really don't attack the people that's on the top. It's always the ones that's on the bottom, you know, looking for the crumbs from our table. The master's table is the Cowboys of the NFC East. They want it. And that's why they feel happy when they get a little piece of it. But I come here to tell y'all, we're not folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. We're going to continue to support this team, and the best is yet to come. We're talking about all of this good stuff before the draft even hit. And normally the draft time for your mind is where we shine. Write these things down and apply best way possible to your beautiful lives. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you all hold everything tawdry and cheap. If life itself, oh life, seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, and lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, or famish, or fame, or sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want, is dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, guess what? You will get it. I've been saying that for years. And we won't stop until the casket drop. And that's right, Cowboy Nation. If I offended anyone, charge it to the head, not the heart. ain't mad at you. Come on.
I ain't mad.
I ain't mad at you, baby.
I ain't mad at you.
Come on, let's get on up out of here.
Mad at you.
Damn.
Let's go.
Whoa! Give me my theme music.
Hey. Let's go, baby.
I just wanna run it.
I just want to run it up just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit.
I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal.
Don't need no deals, baby. I make the deal, baby. I just want to run it up. Hey. Ho. Freddie. She is one of the first ones to drop that super chat. I appreciate you, Brady. Christopher 214. J May. Big. Shout out to you. Frederick. Glenn. Capers. Dwayne McBride, huh? Shout out to you, bro. Jay Carter, baby. Jalen Carter, baby. We drafted Jalen Carter.
I'm with Jay, I'm with Jay, I'm with Chuck and now.
Hey.
Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Hey.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it.
Come on.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this.
Scorpio Law will hit 100K before the end of this week, baby. Let's get it, man. Thou shall decree a thing, and it shall be established. When we get there, I'm going to do that Andy Dufresne. I'm going to climb through the sewer, climb up out of it, and be like, yeah, baby. Blake, what's good?
Kinda check the song.
I see you. I just want to run it up.
Count that too, count it up.
Come on.
Count it up.
I got you.
I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome.
The Cowboys select Bijan Robinson. Let's go. I feel you, Blake.
I be in zones alone. I be on road.
But road time, baby. Give me Gibbs. Give me Gibbs, man. I been looking at some of the Gibbs film, man. I don't know, man. I'm torn. Give me Gibbs, though, but give me some Gibbs.
Kinda check the song.
Shout out to Brookhaven in the house. Shout out to you, man. Let's go, baby. Yo, my mind be jumping back and forth with these running backs.
Lately, I just wanna run.
Come on. Kenny the Shark, appreciate him too, you know. All right, y'all, let's get on up out of here. Yo, I got the wrong film up here. But that's okay. We'll rock out with this one. Come on, let's rock out with this. Y'all okay with this one? FBI, open up! Wait a minute, Fed. Now, I work with y'all, man. Don't y'all come get me now. Come on, man. Hey. Gibbs. Ho. Hey, Malik Davis. All right. The game is on the line. Let me create this scenario. The game is on the line, right? And you at the 80. And you need 15 yards. And you got an option. Gibbs, 1. Robinson, 2. Who you giving the ball to and why? Put 1 if you for Gibbs. Put 2 if you for Bijan in the chat. Now, if you at the goal line, I'm gonna say give me Robinson, huh? See, that's how difficult that will make it, huh? Ooh, Bijan. Oh, I'm seeing some Bijan love. Oh, emotional damage. I got you.
Emotional damage.
And another one. If you at the 80, yeah. I'm just messing with y'all. All right, so if you at the you're at the 50-yard line. And you got Bijan Robinson. And you got, I meant to say you had 80 yards to go, my bad. I did say 80-yard line. Y'all shanking me with the butter knife. All right, so you're at the 50, my bad, y'all. You're at the 50-yard line now, right? Let's make it even. You got Robinson and you got Gibbs. 1 for Robinson now and 2 for Gibbs. And you got 20 yards to go to get the first down. And you can only give it to your running back. Who would you go give it to? Yo. Damn. I got you right here. All right. Ooh-wee. Boy, look at those numbers, man. All right, man. All right, let me get on up out of here. I already showed my football IQ. They be like, man, I told y'all don't listen to Law Nation, man. He said there's an 80-yard line, man. I mean, that's what me doing all of these long live streams, man.
Shame.
Law said there's an 80-yard line, dog. And look, man.
Shame.
Where's that 80-yard line at, dog? Wait a minute. See, man, I told y'all, man, don't be listening to Law Nation, man. He will have you in the wrong spot. Let's get on up out of here, though. Come on, man. Oh, tonight's show, we be doing the draft show tonight.
Be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough.
I don't know, man. I'm still torn between Gibbs, though, man. God, dog, man. Am I wrong, though? Am I wrong, though? That's why I say give me a big body down inside. I'll roll the dice with Kendra Miller or somebody, Sean Tucker, Dwayne McBride or somebody like that, man. Give me the big boys down inside. Give me a defensive tackle or offensive guard. Give me Mafia or somebody like that in the third round. But let me go with a big boy down inside. Let somebody else fight over Gibbs and Robinson.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed as an organization about how the team is playing?
Damn act together. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna have to do this, but settle down just a little bit. I don't have the patience to jack
I want me some glory hole.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight. Everything will be alright on any given Sunday. Yeah, depend on you. If you win or lose, you know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday. Yeah, give me my thing. Spartans, prepare for glory.
Until next time.